Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Free to Play Podcast number 12. I am Pawz, rank 1 uh, free to play woodcutting 72-hour record.
I'm Freckled Dad. I am licking the ashes and bones.
Uh, DJ9, rank 1 sleep addiction.
Charles.
I was going to go after Austin. I'm Charles. I am the organizer in absentia.
I'm Halcyon Seed, and you have to scroll on the leaderboards to find me.
UIM Iodiin, and I hope to be the third UIM to match free to play.
Sick.
Based.
Oh, you guys are going from the list. That's why you're waiting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a list?
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a list. Yeah.
There was for the introduction, but
Yeah, they're
got no other list.
That's okay.
God,
This
this
is
our 10th. This is our 10th take, man.
That's okay. This is more of a casual podcast to those listening. We're trying a different format today, doing a little bit more free form rather than just question and answer. So hopefully it turns out okay.
Free form, free to play.
Take it away, Charles.
Welcome. So we won't go from topic to topic here, but obviously the thing on everybody's mind is the 10-year anniversary competition. So I'll let y'all go first, but how do you guys think you did?
I'll take it from here.
Thank you,
Man,
TJ.
boy, do I love a free-to-play competition. It's just great to be a part of them. Oh my gosh. So, I didn't take any time off except for the 6 hour. I managed to get off. I told those bozos at work I had something going on. So I left an hour before, did that. It was a good time. The Crunchwrap Conquerors spent the majority of day 1 and 2, like nearly like 24/7. Someone was in the voice chat, so that was cool. It was a fun time though. My goal was 100, so I barely missed it. I slept too much over the weekend, so I had to play catch up over the week, and I was kind of losing it at the end because, like I said, I didn't take any time off, so I was really sleeping like 2 hours a night. So that was fun, but I love it. Good time.
How much were you off? 100?
Like 0.4 hours.
Oh dear.
That's brutal.
I literally, it's so annoying because like Thursday night, I was like, I got this, like whatever. But I was waiting for Kutalos to go to sleep. The majority of the time, it was really just a competition versus me and him, because we were like breathing down each other's necks the whole week. So I was waiting for him to go to bed, and it was like 3 in the morning. I had to be up at 7, so he wasn't going to bed. So I just logged off, and then he ended up passing me the last night, just barely. And he was still there when I logged back in.
I did notice you two up for the late nights for the majority of the week. There was like no one ever in the CC or in Discord, I noticed, except for you and Cathalos.
Yeah.
Some real gamers.
Yeah.
I'll take it. So, soft shell sergeants, we won.
Easy.
It was a great competition. Enjoyed being able to talk with everybody in our own little server there and getting to know some more people just in the community. As I think that's really what it really all is about for me a lot of the times in competitions, is just getting to know more people and getting to be more social, because I'm just not that way most of the time when I'm playing the game. So it's always nice to get that opportunity. I guess to go off of DJ's kind of scenario, I did just a little over 100. Also just worked, but didn't really sleep deprive or anything. So apart from the weekend, went hard for the weekend, and then decided, yeah, I'm just gonna get normal sleep and see what I can push out. So just did whatever I could for 1-to-1 during anything else, and yeah.
Yeah,
Good
do we wanna
competition.
bring up the comp all of us and see like, because I know the day 1 and 2 is actually insane. Let me look
Yeah,
at
we
it
could.
real quick.
You could, if you have the ability to pull it up.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I don't have it
put
on
it
screen,
the
but
podcast, then
so end of day 1, let's see. Let's see. End of day 1, Halcyon was on a 29.09. I was on a 24.74, Chaotical 23.6, Freck 22.6, Levi 21.5, Cathalos 21.5, Bald Un 19.5, DJ 18.95. The list goes on. Everyone up until, let's see, 16th place was on at least a 15 EHP day, day 1. So it was pretty good the first day. Everyone was on like a crazy pace, it looks like. I noticed
Sure, I was pretty high up there.
yeah. Let's see. Iodine. I don't even see you. Where are you?
For reference,
there you go.
I missed the first 10 hours of the competition
19th.
due to flying back home. Because this was right after the holidays, and yeah, the first 10 hours, I was only able to do a little bit of room crafting, like on the plane Wi-Fi, at least until Freckled Dad disabled my plane's Wi-Fi on the way into Houston, the bastard. But yeah, tough start for sure.
yeah, that EMP was pretty wild.
On a plane, no less. Yeah, day 1 and day 2. I'll pull up day 2 real quick. Let's see. So then, all right. Number 1, Halcyon 42.9, day 2. Freck 40.2. Free 2 Demon 40.06. Me 39. Chaotical 36, 36, 34, 33, 32, 32. So people were going hard for the first 2 days, that's for sure. But
Yeah, that weekend.
Yeah, I guess it was. So yeah, a lot of people, like was previously mentioned, some people had some work, and so people were taking the opportunity for the free weekend to go really hard. So people sleep deprived for the first 48 hours for sure. I know Halcyon did a 30. Do you want to talk about that at all, or like how'd that go?
It went alright. I think I did a bit of goofing off, and also I figured out like now, like after the comp, that I was doing like something slightly wrong with the fishing method that I was doing. So, bit unfortunate, but it's alright.
Still be Orange Sea, I guess, right?
Yeah, he didn't do a full day though. I
Oh,
hope
really?
he takes it back. Yeah, he only did 24 hours.
Gotcha. Well,
I mean, I can talk about the 75 or 80 week that I did, but Pawz, I think you really were the one who stole the show with the 130 hour.
Stop.
I mean, I think that's the real main point of discussion here. I mean,
Oh,
that's huge hours. Tell us a bit more about it.
Sure. So, yeah, I went into this like I knew I was gonna go hard, but I didn't know like what exact numbers I wanted to do until like I kind of just had a general idea of how much I wanted to sleep. I think that's the best way to go into a competition, not like being like, yeah, okay, I have this many hours to play. That means I will get this much EHP, because you're probably not going to end up with that. I think you should just like kind of pace yourself based on how much you feel comfortable not sleeping per day. I mean, honestly, like there are people who are way better than me at RuneScape weeks. Obviously, like people doing 160s and stuff. That's just nuts. I could never ever do that. But yeah, I went into it aiming for like 3 hours of sleep, and my previous competition I did, I don't even remember when it was. It's some Solus comp a few years ago where I did a mining week. I was sleeping like 4 hours a night, and that was comfortable, but I wanted to push myself a little bit more in this one, so aimed for 3. The last night I actually slept 2 because Halcyon was staying up pretty late, and wasn't sure if I was going to take it, so decided to take another hour off the sleep at the end. I was actually planning on staying up for the rest, but I got to a point where I was just like in complete exhaustion by the end of the week, and I just kind of gave up. And yeah, but I managed to pull through at the end because Halcyon decided to get a good night's rest on the last night, I think. So
Yeah, I slept 6 at the end. I
Yeah.
was kind of goofing off at the end of the week. I did a lot of like I was also like fishing and playing Clash of Clans. Um, so I had like a really good start, and then I was like started. I just kind of like lost motivation to like go as hard. And then like it's like a way easier to say like going into the week like, oh, I want to go really hard, but like if you don't have like teammates like or like something to prove, like pushing yourself, it's like pretty hard to do it if you've already hit like a number where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this looks pretty good.
For me, it was like
It's
I've never done an EHP week that high, so I just like, plus it was doing like just one skill. I know you're doing like a bit of woodcutting and fishing, so like I wanted to get like a good woodcutting record. That's what I was kind of aiming for. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Frank.
yeah, no, it's kind of wild because you just basically ended up playing for your kind of personal PB as the comp continued on, right? So that was just it's just super cool to still see like you absolutely decimate the hours for the week regardless of anything else going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I can
Really,
definitely.
Are you first, Kyle?
I'll go, I guess. Yeah, like my big thing with motivation, definitely comes from like the group aspect of like a team pushing. So when I competed in the Terry competition at the um beginning of last month, that was like a very different dynamic with like the whole team is like pushing big hours and like sort of going for the like first place slot. So that was like super motivating for me, and that definitely like pushed me through like the really long nights, like the really short sleeps. I know that um the team that I was on, we didn't have the best group going into it. We sort of knew pretty early on that our team wasn't going to be in contention for the win. So like definitely kudos to you, Pawz, for like not letting that slow you down at all. Because I definitely felt pretty demotivated once I saw some of the donuts that were sticking around for the second, third, and fourth days.
Yeah. A few people like gave up. I don't know, like I participated in the first Terry comp. I haven't since then, but um my whole team was basically in Discord the whole time, but I don't know, I'm not really much of a social person, I guess. I don't really like I like joining Discord occasionally, talking to people, but I can't do it for like several hours because it's just kind of exhausting for me. So even during that comp, I was kind of just playing solo for the most part. I only did like 100 for that one, but it was still a fun and motivating thing to have a team dynamic. I know what you mean. So
Yeah, this last Terry was basically like if you're not doing over 120, you're just completely ragging. Like it was
yeah,
just actually insane. The amount of sleep deprivation, like there was like multiple people within like the 160 and 150 range. It's just absolutely insane. So many records broken as well during that.
Yeah, records are also like a really good motivation. Like for the method that I was doing throughout the comp, I knew I wasn't going to be doing a full week of it, and I was also doing a slower version of a different smithing method, which there already is like a really competitive day, week, and 72-hour record for. So I wasn't super motivated as much as I imagine some of y'all were with like just doing a gatherer, which those 30-day hours or 72 or week records were ripe for the taking. And so that I imagine definitely adds to the motivation.
Yeah, I did assemble the Infinity Gauntlet. That was cool. I got like all the Gatherer Day records.
Congrats.
Is there any specific motivation technique Halcyon used, any podcast or anything like that to keep you motivated during this contest?
Oh, the David Goggins podcast. Yeah, I listened to that on the first day. That was like really, my like back was just like really hurting, and so I like needed to like listen to Joe Rogan and David Goggins, you know?
does that help with the
That's
back?
what
Yeah,
that's what those podcasts are there for. It's just that extra motivation in the comp.
yeah.
I have a question for everyone I included in here. What was your beverage of choice? Like, what kept you caffeinated during this competition?
Oh my God. I literally bought a 12-pack of Red Bulls, like a variety pack or whatever. I didn't drink any of them until like the 5th day.
Wow, that's impressive.
And then I had like 2 cups of coffee throughout the entire competition, and it was like middle of the night every time, like 2 a.m. I told myself I was gonna like drink a shit ton of caffeine, but I ended up not doing that. I always get so worried, like I don't know. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm
For
gonna
those
stay
that
up for
might not
30
know,
hours and then drink 5 Red Bulls. That just sounds like a horrible idea. You know? So
DJ's a huge water drinker, so
I am a huge water drinker. That's hilarious. Yeah, I
Respect.
am. So
I was drinking like my favorite one, or like the most effective one, was like Storm Rain, like not like rain, but like rain like a king. Like the white gummy bear flavor was really good. The other one was kind of mid. It was like, well, the tropical one was good, but the one that was mid was, or maybe it was okay. I had Celsius as well, and those were pretty good. But the sour gummy worm rain is pretty bad. And like normal caffeine like doesn't really work for me. Like it has to be like shit that has like BCAAs in it. So I was also drinking like the Java Monsters, and those just didn't do anything. I went through like 5 of those and then just like still like fell asleep.
Is that like what inducted drinks? I don't know what a BCA
Yeah,
is. Okay.
it's NoCo. Just like has like a bunch of like chemical shit in it.
I see.
Would you
Chemical
call that a
concoction.
performance? It's a performance enhancer.
Yeah, Adderall's always good too if you have access to that.
God.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I've heard.
You've seen somebody talk about it.
I can't really like do the sugary energy drinks like that the way that I used to back in college. But something that worked for me for both the Terry comp and this comp was like 2 or 3 cups of just like green or black tea. Because like if you look at like, you can find like graphs online of like caffeine like distribution, like for different types of drinks, and like coffee and energy drinks, the like initial spike is higher, but generally for teas, like it won't hit as fast, but it'll last longer. And so I would find like when I'd wake up after like a sleep dep, like if I only did like a 3 or 4 of sleep that night, I would drink like a cup of like green tea, and it wouldn't like hit for like a solid hour. Then I'd be like super exhausted. But then for the next like 4 or 5 hours after that, I would be like very much so like awake and focused. So I kind of experimented with that with the Terry comp, but I found that it really works for me at least. So that's what I did for all of the free to play comp.
Nice. It's much healthier too as well.
I mean, there's only so much of a health decision you can make by sleeping less than like
Right.
5 hours a night for a
But
whole week straight.
in my case of chugging Red Bulls for a week straight I mean that's definitely the better option, I'd say.
Personally, I just went for a beer run day one.
That's insane.
A beer gliding.
Beer gliding.
Shout out to everybody that knows about that. But no, seriously, just whatever energy drink, whether it be Red Bull, Monster, Rain, any of those, whatever was at the store and had a sale on it.
Wait, you
Not
went to
too
the store
picky.
during the comp?
No, beforehand.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just not that picky.
Gotcha.
But yes, I would go to the store during the comp. Why
You would do a
not?
hockey game too as well.
Yeah.
I mean both comps.
And
Pretty
DJ went
crazy.
to Monster Truck Show.
Monster
Yeah.
Jam.
hell yeah, brother.
Did you see Gravedigger?
Yeah, I did.
We were talking about that. It was like the one that...
Tell them about the excitement of Gravedigger when you went.
Oh my God, dude, it was like not even 2 minutes he was out. He'd already destroyed his truck and they had to like fucking tow him out. They towed him out and then he came back like halfway through and was like, "That's not what you're here to say."
What a bozo.
Do you think it was staged, or do you think it was actual?
Probably. I don't know. He did a massive backflip at the very end of the show. Everyone
Staged.
went nuts. It was so funny. Yeah, it probably was staged.
Like in the
It was
truck.
awesome
or-
though. Yeah, like the truck did a
Oh,
backflip. Like
gotcha.
he didn't do a backflip inside the truck.
Did a backflip while his truck was doing a backflip.
That's crazy.
What did you guys eat during the comp? What's the fuel other than energy drinks?
So I have a strat. I've been doing this probably since like 2017 with like records. I get like a loaf of bread and like a jar of peanut butter, and I just make like peanut butter sandwiches quickly whenever I'm hungry, so I don't have to like go to the kitchen. So
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Sandwich station right at the computer. That's smart though.
So is like the microwave on the desk then?
microwave. Why would I microwave it?
Well, the peanut butter.
I
True.
understand.
Oh, the
Right.
Tannerdino strat.
Yeah.
Sure.
Shout out to
True.
Tanner.
I get the paper plate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody tried the microwave cheese plate, where you like line up all the string cheese on the plate and then fill it with more cheese.
It's disgusting.
That just doesn't sound good.
Horrible.
I'll repost that video after the podcast.
Yeah, I didn't really have any real tricks other than like I'd have like snacks like granola bars, nuts, protein bars, but like as for like normal meals, I just cooked whatever I wanted. Or ordered something. Like I was not very particular with saving time as much as I probably could have.
I was able to, at least for the first half of the comp, I had food covered by. I ordered like one large pizza the day before the comp, and then I just like I would eat like you're sitting all day, so you're not really like burning much calories. So I'd have like 1 or 2 slices per meal, and that lasted me for a good couple of days. I definitely wish I had meal prepped a bit more, especially for the free to play comp, but the timing wasn't exactly the best.
Yeah, Terry was definitely different. I definitely went all out for meal stuff on that.
So I know
Grocery haul was all focused.
3 of you on the call have significant others that you live with. Did you find that that helped very much with the comp, with things like getting food or having like other basic like chores out of the way, not having to worry about?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yes.
The neat mom buff is crazy good.
My
I have to say
savior.
the opposite.
She's ragging you. Ragging your
Well,
comp.
I mean,
it's like obviously there's a level there that's obviously very helpful, but at the same time it can be let's just say not the most fond thing for just playing a ton of hours.
Yeah.
I have heard that RuneScape's a lot better when you don't have a bitch in your ear telling you to get up and do something else.
Wow.
It's only 2% of the year. It's not that much.
2%.
2%,
That's right.
less than 2%. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that
it's a
2%
lot
of the year though, I did 1/10 of my yearly ep, so
So
Yeah.
9 more competitions will be done.
Yeah. How does your significant other feel doing two competitions back to back, Freck?
They were definitely not the happiest at the first one. That did not go over well at all. The second though, it was like basically a surprise that I would go and sleep at pretty much normal time and just be up for work normal time. I think
That's
after the weekend it was basically I just slept 8 to 9 hours a night.
That sounds nice.
So yeah, it was pretty normal. It was a very cozy week.
Yeah, I bring it back to like the food stuff. I was doing like I was up for like a pretty absurd amount of time. I was just playing like incredibly inefficiently. So I would I was doing like 24 hours awake and then 3 hours of sleep. and I did like mostly like trail mix for food, and trail mix, Ritz crackers, multivitamins for like the first while. Apparently the multivitamins are good. Enjoys rocks the multivitamins as well for like getting like the essential nutrients without eating actual meals. And then I'd have like one like normal meal every day, like usually something like microwaved, typically.
If you guys had to eat an OSRS food in free to play as your only item during the comp, what would you pick?
Probably
bad.
monkfish because that doesn't exist in real life.
Wait,
Well, it's
monkfish
not free to
is-
play.
It's not free to play though.
Yeah. Well,
and,
it's
and for
LMS.
those that are saying that it exists in real life, you're just completely lying. It definitely does not exist. What do you
About
mean?
karambans or whatever.
But I don't know. Maybe that steak sandwich from that quest.
True.
Good one to go for.
Marley.
Yeah, some like sandwich lady food would probably actually taste the best.
Yeah.
Triangle sandwich
Stale baguette
Yeah.
with peanut butter.
with peanut butter on a paper plate, microwaved.
Yeah.
Of course.
The kebab's gotta be pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a
Oh,
super
yeah, for
kebab.
sure.
Like, there's been a couple times, especially a couple late nights, I've eaten kebabs that I swear I've gotten the like +2 strength boost from. So, yeah, I would eat those.
It's got that perfect level of sauce in it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Negative boost.
I'm definitely stronger and faster. I mean, I've had some negative boost ones too. Don't get me wrong.
The food poisoning ones
The
aren't that
food-
great.
Those do
Yeah.
exist.
Minus 2 cooking.
So, do you
Pizza's
guys
also pretty simple.
does everybody think in the future they could put in more hours for a comp? Like if you really wanted to push yourself, like what do you think you could do?
I'll go first here. So, you know when all the planets align? If that was to happen, then sure, I could do a bunch. But like, I think the like scenario of like Terry of like a 120 or maybe pushing a 130 is probably something I could do during certain comps, but like going like real all out for something, like everything would have to line up that like I don't have anything else at all going on, which is just never really been something that would ever happen, and I doubt it ever would. So I don't know. I think for myself, I just want to put up the numbers that I can in comps. I still want to participate because it's been really fun just meeting new people and like now frequently in other discords to talk with people in voice, which is like super clutch for just playing the game on a daily basis. So yeah, competitions are good, even like regardless of if you can sleep dep and do 150s or not. So yeah.
I think I
But
could
no.
have definitely.
Go ahead.
I think I could have definitely played more. I was awake like probably more than well, actually no, I slept like 6 on like the last day or so, but otherwise I think I was awake more than I ever have been. And I did like a 135 after it got scaled down in like of fire making in, I think it was Solus 10th year comp. So I think I could like definitely do like a 140. I was pretty inefficient during that as well, but I had like the team pushed because it was pretty close. So I like actually like wanted to play as much as I could.
Yeah, the 140 number is like, I imagine that's kind of like how Freck was saying, like the planets align with, me not having to really work that week, having like good teammates, like a good reason, a good motivation to push, feeling good, no sickness or anything. I definitely put in not my best performance for the free to play comp, which I do feel sort of bad about, especially because I was the first round pick on my team. But yeah, I want to if especially if things would line up again correctly for the next time, then I would like at some point in my life to at least go for the 140 and really push myself to do those like big hours and very little sleep.
Yeah, same. I think I could do 140. It's just, I think if I slept the amount I did for another week, but like focused on like micro more so for the whole week, then I could have done a 140. But I think if I realistically wanted to get a 140, then I would have to cut sleep for probably another hour for the week, and just 2 hours a night. I think that would do it for me. But
I gotta ask, because like, for those that maybe don't fully know your situation of RuneScape play at the moment, was it strange coming back to play a whole ton of hours in a week when like typically you're not playing that much a week now?
I think in my opinion, like doing long-term RuneScape grinds is very, very different entirely from comps. I think comps are like a different mindset, like fully. So it's like a performance to me, is like, okay, I have to stay up this long, I have to focus like that. It's like a different type of grind for sure, because like that it's coming to an end in X amount of days. So but long-term RuneScape grinding is just, it never ends, so you just gotta play however much you feel like. That's my mindset towards it.
I remember I believe it was a Hebox video before he did all the match day speed run and
Where he
all
shaved his
the Twitter stuff he's
eyebrows.
doing. He posted some video talking about how he had just done a comp, and he talked about how like it's really good, like as soon as the comp ends, to not immediately drop down to your baseline, and to like try to like while you're like you've convinced yourself to like start playing a lot more hours for that week, like if you can, like keep that up as long as possible. Obviously in a sustainable way that you don't burn out, but in a way that you can get a lot more progression out of your account over the next like week or the next month. So I've sort of been trying that and trying to like keep my daily gains much higher than they were like before the Terry comp last year, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. So hopefully I can, not doing competition hours, but definitely playing more than I usually do.
I remember him saying that. I don't remember what video it was either. I feel like it might have been like advice for new players or the like Save A cast or something.
It might have been this, because he had just played in some comp. It was like before he even had like 4-point sets, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I think the advice for new players cast you didn't have 4.6, but I might be wrong.
It also helps though that I'm within that range of maxing where like the amount of hours I have until max is a number that a lot of people can do in a year. Way more than I would usually do in a year, but now that like it's in the realm of possibility that I can match this year, I'm trying to keep the number up as long as I can.
DJ, do you think you could play more? Did you answer already?
I didn't. Y'all are beasts. I probably could not do 140. I think my max, I'd probably cap out at like 120, 125 maybe. I think that's
That's all.
really
That's still a
pushing it
really
though.
high
So
number.
I just
Oh
want to
yeah, of
say,
course, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think my personal best is like 108, 109, and I did that in like 2020 during one of our other competitions that we had, I'm pretty sure. And I was also just cutting gems. So I mean, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I was also working during that. I don't know. I've never taken off like and just fully dedicated myself towards a competition, and I would like to at one point because I would like to do like a 120. But I'm not exactly sure. It's always, you always say I'm gonna do this, and then day 2 comes around and
Yeah.
things get different. So
Yeah, day 2 comes around and it's really tough if you didn't say good morning. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, like looking back, I thought like doing an 80 was like really hard, and like when I first started my account, and then like over the years, like you push yourself to get that number, and then you do it, and then for the next record, you try like a little higher and then a little higher, and it just keeps going up. So it seems impossible at first, but it just requires some like mental change, like different mindset.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I remember I used to like struggle to even sit down for 6 hours to do a 6-hour record.
Yeah.
I definitely do. My attention span is just so horrible, honestly.
Yeah, during my 6 hours, I need to have Subway Surfer, Family
Oh
Guy,
my god. Minecraft.
Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft parkour videos.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Jeez. All right. Do you guys think we should move on to the next topic, or was that good enough?
I think that
Damn.
sums up competitions. I think
Yeah.
Wait,
got
we
it
should talk
for
about
a way.
badges.
Yeah, maybe talk a little bit about what you want to see the next comp. It's probably a good ending to it.
Sure. What do you guys think?
I can start this off, and I can kind of combine it with the badge question as well. So I just quick background for some listeners. Certain high-level competitions on Temple, you can have the chance to win a badge, or essentially just a small icon on your Temple page that's permanently there, just to kind of prove that you played in the comp and won it. And to some people that doesn't really matter at all, but to others, like me, who love those little cosmetic kind of things and love those, just things that show that there's like a real, you did play in this comp, you did do all these hours, you did sleep dep. I think the addition of the badge for the free play comp was really cool. I think that pushed a lot of people, not just to sign up who wouldn't have signed up before, but also to put in like much bigger hours than they maybe normally would have. So I think that's pretty cool. If there is a comp in the future, for free to play, if I think that the addition of a badge can be like a really cool motivator, not just to the free to play base, but also some of the pay to play high level stealers who made free to play accounts just to kind of hang out and join in on the fun. So that's definitely something I'd like to see in the future.
Yeah, I know that there's a little bit of controversy around badges because people will just do whatever's easy 1-to-1 EHP method on a fresher account and then get the badge added to their members account. Which maybe can look a little poor towards some aspects and outlooks, but I kind of like the idea of the amount of badges. I mean, we as a clan we just get 2 a year, right? So it's not like we can just spawn badges like crazy, but I guess for people that just sign up to any badge competition, they could have badges that are on their main account that aren't really relative to their account. So like having a free to play comp on a pay to play account, but I also understand that people are still just defined by their main character that they play, not the alt that they're playing for X, Y, or Z. So I feel like having competition badges is nice, but I think it can go either way. So
True.
I definitely want to see them again, and I'm excited for the next badge. But I'll let Pawz talk about that one.
Yeah, I think for the next comp, I'd like to do something similar. I know there's a few suggestions in Discord of maybe putting in a requirement for EHP, like total EHP to join the comp, and I can understand that because we did kind of just open this one up to everyone, and there were people that ragged the comp and those people were on my team. So
Yeah.
not gonna
you
name any
didn't you didn't
names,
get it
but
as bad as me on Halloween of 2023 though. So just
what was that?
count your
Oh my
blessings.
god.
The McDonald's Club members, and
Dude, I remember that. That's so funny.
I'm not recalling.
Yeah, I
remember
think I
that.
think I did like
was
a
a
95 for that, and the next
good
person on my
one.
team did a 10. So
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
yeah,
It was crazy.
I'll have the audience know I won that comp, or at least my team did.
that's beast.
But yeah, I think another team comp would be good for the next free to play comp. So
personally,
See, I like the free for all competition idea more,
Hmm.
simply because it can be ragged. Not that my team ragged. I freaking love my
Yeah.
team. Crunchwrap Warriors for life.
so yeah,
It
I
was
did
fun, though.
do we want to talk about the like free for all idea that me and a couple others came up with, or do we want to just leave it there for now?
As a
I
little
think
teaser
we'll
to what's to come.
we'll leave that as we'll have something in the back of their minds type idea.
Sure.
We'll make a more formal alert to that when we're ready to go
Okay.
live with that one.
Yeah.
in
Alright.
regards to like comp badges, I think it's a bit silly how many of them are out there now. Probably if you looked at like, I don't know, just like the past like year or two, like the increase in badges has been like pretty damn substantial. I think like in my like ideal world there would only be like maybe like Terry competition is the only one that gives a badge.
Yeah.
So only like one group of people gets a badge a year. But I think that so like a lot of people only sign up to like badge comps or whatever now in current day because they like just don't care if it doesn't have a badge, like no badge, no sign up, which is a bit lame. But at some point, badges will become like saturated enough that I don't think it'll matter as much, which is the
Yeah,
direction that it's already
probably.
headed in.
I think it would be fine if, like, not to say that our clan is a major clan by any means or stretch of the nation, but like having like Solus and Hexus and what was previously a clan, Omnia, be able to do like a badge a year plus Terry. I think that would
Yeah,
still be fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, apart from like it does seem just anyone that makes a group could
Yeah.
essentially do a badge. So I think like you need to be an established clan more so to do it, I think. But
You know
it
what
was
might
nice
be a
to get
good
the
fix is if like the official ones were the ones that appeared like on your profile, but then you could have like a tab on your page that had like other
Ooh,
competitions you've participated in, something like that.
I like that a lot.
That's a really good idea.
You could like pitch that to me, Cal, at some point.
Yeah, so the current like comp page on everybody's profile, it just lists like every single competition
Yeah, it looks a little
you ever
silly
like
for
like
sure.
random weeks in your clan or like
You can add
Discord
anybody to
months or
any
something.
comp.
You can add people to the comments. So.
Yeah, it'd be
Shout
nice
out,
if there was like an official like for like the badge comps or just for like the more serious ones, like a separate thing, like the placement, the badge if you got one.
shout
Yeah.
out calories eaten comp. I wanted to touch on, I think that it's a bit silly being able to transfer badges between accounts. Like, why not just have like a trophy account? And I know, like, I don't know. I think it looks really like stupid when you like click on someone's badge on their profile and it's just like a level 3 comp and they're like 4.6 or whatever. It's like what?
Yeah.
Or like look at Inducted's profile and like none of those badges have been won by that account. They're just all various random accounts.
Good point.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can go to more pressing / dark topic of the proposed membership changes.
What are your thoughts on it, Charles?
It's interesting because this kind of gets into my world a little bit, but
Before we get
first-
into it, should we highlight exactly some of the things they talked
Oh,
about before we get in?
that's probably a good idea. I'll shut up for a bit.
All right. Well, who's highlighting it? Because I'm not the most knowledgeable.
I
on
thought
the
Charles had it
subject.
open.
Should we give a TLDR on it? It's like essentially, so they conducted a membership membership change survey in order to like gauge like players' feedback on like upcoming membership changes, which would include like various like tiers of like packages, as well as they proposed the idea of having like in-game ads, as well as the things that specifically affect free to play would be ads, either in-game or like implemented in some fashion, like on the launcher or like login screen or whatever, as well as AFK timers they've talked about. So the way that RS3 works is if you're like a free to play account without a Jagex account, I believe you have a 5-minute AFK timer. If you have membership without a Jagex account, it's 10 minutes, and then if you have membership like with a Jagex account, it's 15 minutes. So it's possible that we could see something like that in old school as well, where if you are free to play without Jagex account, it'd be 5 minutes, and then with Jagex account, be 10 minutes. Although they could just do 5 minutes split period now that Jagex accounts are like required.
I think the scariest thing I saw too is in one of their like proposed situations for like the whatever the lowest tier of membership was, they said mobile only access, which assuming if that's the lowest tier of membership, then free to play
Oh
This
boy.
day.
also might be lumped into that, which that kind of scares me at least because I hate playing mobile.
Wait, they didn't say you
Yeah,
like
mobile
everyone had to
sucks.
play mobile, right? You're trolling.
I mean, let me find the.
I'm pretty sure they said like all their plugins that they have on mobile won't be available to free to play players.
No, it was just
Much
it
better.
was just the idea that you could buy a cheaper membership that was mobile only access.
That's crazy.
So like you're just locking yourself to mobile. So like what does that mean for free to play? Are you just gonna decide that free to players can only play on mobile? Like
I see. That's
yeah.
yeah.
Ben, rank 1.
Yeah,
I
Ben's
don't think
rank
they
100%.
would. I don't think they would do that. That's
I-
fried.
Everyone would just.
Everyone would just play on like an emulator. Yeah.
Shout out BlueStacks.
Yeah.
But I am curious, Charles. Like, you're probably the most like business-minded person here. I'm like definitely curious what your thoughts are on like the reasons why they're proposing a lot of these things, or just your thoughts in general.
Yeah, it's interesting. From a kind of ownership perspective, they sold the company, obviously the creators, and cashed out, and they haven't remained interested in really growing it too much, and they've gone off to make their own games and all that jazz. And if we look at kind of the different parent organizations of Jagex, it's been owned by international companies in China. It's been owned by different consumer venture capital funds and private equity groups, even companies like the Carlyle Group, who owns other brands like Supreme that are like household staples. So what it looks like is they're trying to sell a horse when it's behaving. People always make the joke, and when they're trying to sell a business, is if your horse acts up, wait for it to have good behavior and then sell it. And it'll be the next person's problem. And if we look at kind of the transaction history of Jagex, it was sold for a very high amount, slightly higher amount, and then they pushed monetization. They put Squeal of Fortune, everything on the main game that we all came to hate. So it looks like they're trying to do some sort of math in the new year. It's pretty well timed in January, right? At the beginning of the fiscal calendar year. So given all those facts, I think they're trying to show pretty good growth and then pawn it off to the next person. And what stinks is it'll actually get to a point where the company that buys Jagex, it gets worse each time, right? So there might be somebody like me who has no idea how to run a game, getting interested in this and actually not surveying anything at all, but rather requiring these membership changes for better monetization. So this could be the beginning of a slippery slope, and really the community response here has been very vocal. So we'll see what happens, but it really does look like they're pushing for some metrics to impress, and then they're going to sell it again. That's what I have to say.
I think
Is the
that counts
car
as a bingo child.
The one question I'm useful for.
is the Carlisle Group still the people that own it?
No.
No, they
No,
sold in
it's
2024.
transferred. It's
That's what I
CVC
thought.
Capital Partners.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was the apology was written by Mod Pipsqueak.
Mod Pipsqueak.
And it was a really quick apology response too, because I believe if they weren't under a pressure to quickly improve it, they would not have really pulled it that much, etc. But they did stop it quickly, ask a survey, because they don't want their numbers to go terribly down.
Someone
Yeah.
who has probably read through the most corporate speak documents, do you think that this is 100% corporate speak document?
Well, if you pull up what they did in the response to the survey, they actually look like they're trying to regain a lot of trust and clarify. But the original stuff, it was pretty blunt what they're trying to accomplish here. And just another thing on ads. So in mobile gaming, if your app is only supported by ad revenue or a blend of ad revenue, that's actually considered pretty bad.
Yeah.
Most of the time you rely on in-game purchases. So if we start seeing ads, you guys might want to pick up 2004 Escape or something.
I'm curious about like everybody's thoughts on, this wasn't something that was like a full-on blog post open to everyone. This was like some people got emailed the survey. Like, it seems like they were like very much trying to limit like the public access to like this survey or like this information. I don't know. It seems different from what Janet usually does with like a full-on blog post and everything. So.
Well, what's interesting, this is really kind of the only area I can speak on during this whole damn podcast, but what's interesting here is if you send out a survey selectively, you can manipulate the results. So if you send out a survey and it's to people in the free-to-play community, you're going to have very different results than a general poll. If you send out something to people that have paid for membership for 5 years in a row, and they open it, they're probably likely to be open to changes that benefit them. So it being a limited survey identifies the proposition that they sent this out to people they believed would answer it really positively, when in fact it was leaked and had a worse response, maybe if they had just done a general poll. So I think it backfired a bit, but I think they were trying to have a specific result answered by sending it to specific people.
I mean, sure. I feel like surely they should have seen what was going to happen, though. Like, these people are going to post it on Reddit, and everyone's going to be pissed.
Yes, yeah, it was short-sighted, but this sounds very corporate.
I don't think that everything in this is all negative, though. I went and grabbed
What do you like?
a drink, so I might have missed some context before. That was
Well, we were
maybe
saying how
already
happy we are to
highlighted
have
and
ads.
spoken of.
Yeah, we're talking about how much we were excited to have ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally want to have Ronald McDonald pop up in game and give me a Big Mac code.
How would you guys like to see the ads integrated, like doing wait screens into the chat, like Taco Bell half off, or like a character that visits
Taco
you?
Bell, hell yeah.
Yeah, when you
Sandwich-
teleport, like the loading
Yeah,
screen.
The sandwich lady shows you some Jersey Mikes.
What if it just
Wild.
appears randomly and it interrupts whatever action you're doing?
Yeah,
Is that
please
what
watch
sounds-
1 out of 6 ads before entering Elvarg's lair.
Should be noted too that Mod Pipsqueak or whatever is the CEO of the company now.
Yeah, I was like, I did
Wow.
not know that when I read that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did he start as a
good
junior
welcome?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just in general about ads. Like, my whole thing is, at least within the like free-to-play Iron Man sphere, there are so many methods that require like world hopping, teleporting, like things that seem like the most likely for, like places to put ads. So, like, I'm worried that a method like Boneyard, which requires a lot of world hopping, would be, the rates would be cut in half because every single login screen would show some sort of ad, or every time you teleport when you're doing methods like rune crafting, you would see some ad. So I don't know. I think that ads. I think there is some world in which they can be implemented in a way in which it doesn't interrupt skilling or PVM. And I bet that's gonna be kind of what they have to do. Because I imagine that I think there's some like meme videos on Reddit of like, people trying to do content. And there's like constant pop-up ads they have to like click out of and like keep themselves alive. So that's like I'm just worried about. it from that
That
viewpoint.
that is grounds for quitting, in my opinion.
I would definitely
Definitely.
quit for
The,
sure.
the reality of ads coming to this game would be Jagex banning people for using cheat clients that ultimately are just an ad block
Yeah.
plugin that would everyone would end up using, just like we use ad block on our browser, right? Like we're not just going to sit there and accept it and play the game watching ads. No one's going to do that.
Yeah.
So
And the other
kind of
issue,
along. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
it's twice now. I need to be more forefront. The other issue is the quality of the advertisements they tell companies, because a lot of people know that nobody looks at banner ads on websites anymore. If they actually want to get real good ad revenue from this, they're going to need to be in game, kind of what
They're
they
going to have
call
to be
like
disruptive.
and that's how you get the most attention from people when they're closing it out. Because a banner ad, we're just going to click past it and click log in. Whereas if it's in game, it's going to be way more valuable to them for the same cost.
Man,
So unfortunate.
I think personally, if I see an ad, I will just never do what it tells me out of spite that the fact that there was an ad in front of me.
So I guess like my kind of general question is, and I know this like might be like a bit of like a touchy subject or whatever, but is there a point in which, if ads were put in the game and they interrupted stealing actions, or if they were disrupted enough, is there a world in which you would allow yourself or others to purchase membership on your account, so long as you stayed in free-to-play worlds,
No.
only did free-to-play methods?
No, it's too confusing. Even the name change.
Like imagine a world where you have interruptive ads and you are forced to play on mobile.
Okay, so here's where I put a point to this. So if they're still going to put out like package scenarios, so for an example, your Jagex account can have X amount of accounts, right? If there is something within that not only the accounts that you bought membership on are no longer getting ads, it's your Jagex account that no longer gets ads. Then
that could work.
Then yeah, no, that you're still free to play. You don't have active membership on your free to play account.
kind of like the Fun Orb situation.
Kind of like that, right? But if it's truly you have access to be able to log into members worlds on your free to play account, no, that's not free to play at that point. And I think it just means we should just all quit and not play the game.
Yeah.
Or play a members account.
I wouldn't get members on my
Free to play would
account.
just not be it.
In
I would
any
not
scenario.
get members on my. Well, would you get it on other accounts within your Jagex account?
No, like the only account I care about playing is this one. Like I would just not play
Yeah,
anymore. I
but,
would
like-
just log off and never play again.
Like if you have a pay to play alt, and it's inside your Jagex account.
So I mean, some of us don't have like pay-to-play accounts that we've ever played, for GP or other reasons. So like in my situation, I would be buying membership on an account solely to benefit my free-to-play account.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, I see now.
And in my mind, it's like if I'm gonna go through like all the bells and whistles of that, like I know myself. If I got membership with this account, I would never play a member world. I would never engage with that. But at a certain point, like if that's like what it took for me to be able to like still play this game the way I wanted, like I feel like that's something that not just me but a lot of other free to players would at least think about.
Yeah, I don't know where we would draw the like line on free to play at that point, but like, yeah, I'm not stating for like Pawz's perspective of like you have pay to play alts, right? So just imagine like, do you have your account set up as a Jagex account or no?
No.
Okay, so a Jagex account is just one login, but you can go into all your other accounts.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
So imagine that on your Jagex account, you added Pawz plus your pay-to-play alt, but you got your pay-to-play alt, the membership. Pawz is still a free-to-play account, but your Jagex account itself at least has one account that logs into RuneScape that has membership. Now you're not getting ads. That's what I meant by
I got
my
you.
point.
Yeah.
Okay. So like that would be a solution if it lets it happen, but
But I don't think they would think that far, honestly.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, if the ads did come out, probably play members. I don't know.
I'd just stop.
I would
playing
try
the
and
game.
tank it.
There's other games. Like,
What?
I don't know.
Not many other
What?
games where the number goes up in quite the right way like this one does.
I
This
don't
does
know.
like we could
If I have to sit there watching ads the whole time, I don't think I could tank that. Like,
Yeah.
it would be so insane. Like, you'd have, and if you can't do anything of like, well, I guess you could just mute your client, but then you're not getting any rune light notifications or anything else. Oh, like it's just gonna be an absolute nightmare. Like, playing this game is just gonna be terrible if they throw ads that are intrusive like that.
yeah. I don't think I would bond up this account. I have a pay to play alt that already has like a bunch of quests and
Yeah.
shit done.
My pay to play alt's almost maxed. I would just maybe play on
Yeah.
that. But I don't think I would begin skilling again. I just wouldn't care to. I just play every so often and just do other games or something. I don't know.
Yeah, 2004 escape questions too can segue into this pretty well. Like, would you?
Yeah, if we want to switch
Like,
to that next.
Would you play?
Yeah.
I have one question to everyone, I guess, like before that is obviously like there have been times in the past where like very unpopular things from Jaggeds have come up, and the Reddit hive mind has sort of been the one who, may or may not have been the ones who have like solved the issue by being annoying enough. Do you think that like the Redditors will rally enough behind like the use of ads in this game to potentially not ruin it?
It's
Not for
possible,
free to play. They don't care.
Not for free to
Because
play.
most of them are pay to play.
Yeah,
They'll
they
just-
hate free to play.
They'll literally just say, "Oh, it's fine to be put in free to play. They should be doing that so that we don't get
Yeah.
tortured ourselves." So
Yeah.
yes, it's fine.
Test it on them.
Yeah, literally, the blog like basically like referred to free to play players as like cattle. They're like, don't worry, guys,
Like,
we're gonna.
I will say though, like if you are playing this game as a fresh new player, and all of a sudden you're going to do Cook's Assistant, and before you've even gotten the material and finished the quest, you're watching an ad that's intrusive to your gameplay, you're not going to buy membership for this game.
Yeah.
And
So-
Fred, that also brings up something crazy. Will they start ads during the beginning of your journey or trigger them after 100 hours or 10 hours? Like, what's going to be the threshold you're shown ads? Because that's a really good point. If new players join and they have to click Ronald McDonald, that's really going to turn off their new player base.
They gotta click Ronald.
It's unskippable YouTube style
100%
ads
so.
before Tutorial Island start.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freeform
you're just on
McDonald's.
Tutorial Island, you're about to kill the rat. It's the first time you've done combat in this game, and oh, please watch this ad for Little Caesars.
That's
Like,
food before rat killing.
like really?
Also, in-game content. It brings up something interesting because a lot of companies don't advertise on any video game with violence. So we'll be getting a certain type of ads. It won't just be like random, like Coca-Cola and Apple would never advertise on here. So it's super interesting to see who's going to buy the ad space. And hell, I might even buy some at my company. We'll see what happens.
The only ads we're gonna get is Raid Shadow Legends. Like,
Other games.
Taco Bell.
I hope. I mean, okay. Has anyone been paying enough attention to know if they've like talked about whether they're going to be in game or not? Because I feel like I saw some like screenshot that was like talking about it being in game potentially.
it's the
They
only
only
way
mention-
that they would make any AdSense out of it.
Yeah, it's got to be a part of something that's engaging. And they only mentioned free to play once in the membership, and they said directly, "While I may explore ads and free to play as a concept in the future, there are no plans currently. We'll try to carefully considering all feedback." But they don't talk about the medium of the ads or anything like that.
Because the idea that people that I've talked to said that it was going to be implemented, like most likely was through like Jagex launcher. Like when you boot that up, it has like an ad or two or whatever, like on the side.
No one would ever even touch those or see them. You minimize
Yeah.
that right after you've launched Rune Light. You're never gonna see it again.
Yeah,
So
maybe you
must
have to
be-
wait for the ad to play to launch your client.
Oh my gosh. Like, that wouldn't be the end of the world, though. I won't lie.
Yeah, that would be the better scenario versus
that would be
having them in
fun.
game.
But if it's like every login, intrusive to while you're playing the game and doing content, like it'd be over. This game would never see new players. Not that the target audience of this game is new players, because I really don't think we're getting, the new age of gamers jumping onto old school RuneScape very often. But I don't see it outliving the kind of generation that's playing now if they're gonna add ads to the basis of free to play for a new player base. You really think that, like 10-year-old kids right now are gonna be wanting to watch ads while they're playing this game? They don't like that on mobile games to begin with. Like, they don't have that level of attention span to give a crap. They're definitely not gonna be interrupted by an ad while playing this and still enjoy this game.
Yeah.
I'd rather see like in-game cosmetics, honestly, or something like skins or whatever versus
Yeah,
something like ads. Honestly, like microtransactions are better than ads. Like
100%.
yeah, even RS3 doesn't have ads.
Maybe
Just
that's
has
the goal then, is propose
Untradeable
like the bad
cosmetic
idea.
skins. Like,
yeah. I mean,
whatever.
yeah, like $10 to make your like rune simi like on fire. I don't know, whatever, sure.
I might pay that. I mean, shit.
Oh yeah.
But are we free to play if we buy skins?
I think
We're
there's like some
We're
like
freemium, right?
Well, you're not.
Yeah.
As long as you're not a member.
I feel like some people like I don't know if anyone knows like the RS3 free to play community well, but like they're like not a fan of like people like spending money to get like
Do spins.
spins and
anything like
shit.
that,
Yeah.
It was a big topic at TFS for a while, about like they could get skins and such. And then eventually everybody started doing it. But I don't know. Skins are preferred in my book. They should at least try that before doing ads. It's lower risk.
Yeah, I'm more accustomed to that idea that throwing ads at people.
Or
Nobody
buying
likes ads.
plugins. Buying plugins would be way better too.
Yeah, like real premium ones though, like the basic stuff that we need to be using of
Auto
like
clicker.
what we're used to of RuneLite.
Pots.
Like a lot of those things we're gonna need. But like if it was like, I don't know, like a helper type thing to like kind of like how, I don't know if anybody has used Watchdog, but it can basically do anything. So like you get an alert in your game box that maybe a boss says something or whatever, it can alert you to that scenario, right? So like something that's like to that tier that is like very advanced, yeah, maybe you have to pay for that sort of scenario. But like tile markers, I don't need to pay for that. Come on.
Well, yeah, I think
That's
it
a
just
basic.
like bare minimum though, and then you pay like one like set price or something to have access to the other plugins like OS Buddy Pro.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Like maybe we get like menu entry swapper, tile indicators, tile markers, like I don't know, GPU. What else do you need? Like nothing else, I feel like.
HD, baby.
Trying to think.
I just don't think they should be taking away features that we already have and charging us for them. Like that's a little
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's just like looking at like alternatives because they're
Yeah.
obviously trying to squeeze out more money from the player base.
Yeah, take the freely developed RuneLite plugins and then ban the RuneLite client and just charge for access to them on their own, even though they didn't even have to design them themselves.
It's just so sad. Like it's like spit on me. Why don't you?
Careful.
Careful. What?
I mean, it definitely is scary. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I think at every single one of these podcasts, there's always been some like big bad looming update that could ruin the game. But I feel like in the past, it's always been like, oh, this piece of content will devalue a skill. It's never been like, I feel like there's never been like talk of an update that would affect like the very fabric of the game itself,
Yeah, Jax
like
Did you
what they've been
play
talking
RS?
about.
taking it to new
Did you
levels.
play RS3 like?
Well, I mean,
Evolution of
I mean, like
Combat?
within the old school sense, like obviously, yeah, like EOC and everything, and RS3 is like whatever.
Yeah, there was some good comments of this is the evolution of commerce. So, yeah,
Do we have a nickname for this yet? Has Reddit created anything clever?
I think that's what we got to go with. Evolution of commerce.
Alright, we should probably like I
That's
think we've
the
already spent like an
Pawz one.
hour and a half or something. Yeah.
We're at
shit.
110.
Wow.
I'm in no
Okay,
rush.
that's fine.
3 more hours.
Those were important topics, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We
It's a
talked
bit
a lot
later.
about the comp.
Yeah.
That was the long
True.
session of the comp, but
And I mean, they were both put in.
So do we want to segue
Well,
into that?
Yeah. What's the next
2004,
topic?
Or do we want to?
How do we? Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
the run energy changes in Chaos Wars.
Okay, that works too.
This affects Iodiin the most, the run energy
yeah,
changes.
I think why don't you take the run energy topic?
Yeah,
there,
so
and
Run Energy's been funny because it's something that like we knew was in the pipeline for really like. Well, I mean, there's been talk of increasing like the ability for people to get around the game for years now. But I don't know when that like first like floater idea of like free to play agility was first put out, but I mean, the past like half decade, Jagex is like known that there's always been an issue of new players not being able to get around the game, and like they've always wanted to have some implementation, but it was always kind of a meme until last year. I think it was like the spring of last year when they decided that they were officially going to be altering the mechanics of like run drain and run restoration. So I mean, we've known about it for like a solid year now. They put out two different betas in the summer and the fall. So like we knew this was coming, but we all like a lot of the Iron Men thought that it was really going to be like such a crazy increase to different rates and such. But it's interesting that it's really not too bad. A lot of efficient methods for free-to-play Iron Man were already pretty close to infinite run, and the run drain and the run recharge rate isn't so drastic that any rates have really been like blown out of the water. Like yeah, I mean, like I think rune crafting's gone up from like 5.5 to 6K. I think that prayer might go from like 13.5 to 15. Smithing might go up like 1 or 2K. Like they're not crazy rates. Which I mean personally I think it's really nice to see. I was on the like worrisome side that it was going to be, nothing was ever going to, you'd never walk in the game. It was going to be perma run, and I'm glad to see that it's not that. But yeah, I was definitely worried at the start. Obviously I would prefer a world without these kind of updates, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But obviously I'm the only Iron Man here, so it seems like, especially for a lot of the member methods, that I imagine nothing's really changed either. Maybe some small quality of life to not using as many potions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for members, it's pretty nice. Like Blast Furnace and Sepulcher, from what I've seen, especially with Ash offer, you don't ever have to sip staminas. For Rake free to play, it's also nice for I think Ben was saying you have to sip like almost like one energy potion an hour. Or like do like one like walk when you're making rune 2Hs. And then rune crafting, you sip a lot less as well. Fire making too. You can do run fire making now, I'd assume.
Oh wow! Like no energy potions at all.
Yeah,
Oh sweet.
yeah,
I'd assume because it was already like pretty damn close.
Right. Yeah.
I can't speak too much to where I'm saving some run energy, but I don't need energy pots for what I'm doing right now, which is nice. And then like nothing else really wildly benefits me though. Like I'm done fire making. I'm not going to be running with that. The sipping of energy potions while doing rune crafting is non-existent because I'm done that. I guess really it only comes into play with like alt trading methods, right? So like bringing yourself cakes from Falador. I don't know what that's going to look like. As well as like bringing yourself XYZ supplies for like something like cake fishing or something, but I'm pretty sure those are already 100% run regardless. So
Cakes definitely where ashes are where there could be some quality of life.
yeah, so I don't think it really changes nothing much for me at all.
Yeah, I think just like it's funny. It's I know like Tanadino and Ayabu when they're listening to this are probably going to be like yelling at me for not like horrifically shitting on it, but I think Halcyon said it best. Like it's just kind of nice. Like things are just a little faster. Like none of the methods have actually really changed. It's now just everything's a little quicker. The game mode, which already was unfinishable, is now slightly less, but still unfinishable with how many hours it currently takes. So yeah, I think it's just kind of nice, like especially for people who just like want to like get the goals out of the way and not like okay sure I'm not spending $40,000 on crafting, I'm just spending 35,000. Like okay, like
Okay.
cool, sure. Like I don't think like no one's gains have really been devalued that much. It's just whatever. Which I mean, maybe it's a sad state of the game that updates come so often now that big things like this can just be whatever.
Not
Like I'm
big.
sure if this update had come out 5 years ago, that there'd be a lot of there'd be a lot of angry voices within free to play. But I think there's a reason why not too many people have been like up in arms on Discord. It's just whatever.
I think it's just such a small change that it really does not impact to the level that everybody was going on about. So it's fine.
Right. It's no forestry.
That update sucks. They need to cancel that shit.
I
Like
guess
10
we can
months
quickly
later.
talk about. I guess we can quickly talk about Castle Wars for like 2 seconds. I could just
Yeah.
sum up those changes for everybody that's maybe not in the loop on this change. But
I'm not.
essentially, the Castle Wars brew is going to also work as a super restore. All that means is if you do combats in Castle Wars against alts, you can now just camp your 15% strength prayer, like ultimate strength, the whole time. You don't need to flick or really do anything of that scenario. So you're just going to be eating bandages. Why? Why do I say it like that?
I mean, yeah, I
mean,
think the option
it's
is to eat
wild,
on them, right?
but I don't. It's
I
heal
think it's heal,
bandage.
isn't it?
But,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you'll just be using bandages, not eating them.
Nom, 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 nom.
I'm in the
On
back
the
of the
old-
fucking pharmacy.
and just basically just camping the prayer the entire time. So it's kind of a quality of life scenario. Not much will change from like EHP side or anything like that. But another thing is you can put your Castle Wars bracelet charges with the NPCs. You don't need to bring them into the game. Not that we have a glove that boosts strength XP, so it really doesn't matter, but yeah. And you could always swap to Vambraces if you were doing range. So it's really a very minuscule update of not having to flick, but I'm happy about it. All right, moving on. I guess nobody else cares about Castle Wars.
I do want to add one small thing just about the whole like the one thing that is kind of fun about like updates coming out is it was nice to see a lot of activity in the free-to-play methods Discord, which, I mean, usually it's pretty dormant throughout the year, but it's always fun when new things come out and, all these people are coming together trying to figure out new raids. Like, people are, like, actually being efficient in some of these methods to test things. I think that's kind of a cool thing. I really liked seeing that these past couple weeks.
I feel the same way with when like Forestry came out. Everybody was trying to like min-max a certain scenario. Not that Forestry ever should have been that XP an hour when it was released, but like it is nice when something new comes out because almost everybody's just like really going hard at playing it because they want to know if it's worth doing, and it's kind of neat.
Yeah, like the kind of like team aspect of the initial Forestry update was definitely quite enjoyable, but
Yeah.
like was previously stated, it shouldn't have been that XP rate. But it also was, I wish it would be nice if they could have actually like intentionally implemented an update that that like invoked those responses. So
Yeah, if they had that in mind as like that's how Forestry is to
Yeah.
be, and then worked that in accordingly for XP rates, that would have been fine. Would have been enjoyable, but yeah. I guess with this change, there is the 20% boost to Forestry events. That's going to change nothing. So there we
Yeah,
go.
no
That
one's
sums
gonna
up that
care.
question.
Like Freck said earlier, 20% of 0 is still 0.
Yeah, the amount of Forestry events seem very rare in free play worlds right now, so I don't know if this change is going to address that or fix that at all, but they
Plus,
seem very lacking ever since they added more events to pay to play. It's almost
Yeah.
like you're rolling against the pay to play table, but if it rolls a pay to play thing, it just doesn't spawn, and you're
right.
just there seeing no events for over an hour.
Yeah. Plus, you gotta be freaking licking the tree in order to get a freaking event anyway. So
Licking
Yeah.
the tree.
Yeah, you have to have chopped out in like the past like fucking like 15
Game day.
seconds or whatever.
It's so annoying because what's the one thing that new people do when they chop trees? They burn the logs, and by the time you make a fire line, and especially at like Drainer Willows, like if you made a fire line of like a full inventory of willow logs, if you were halfway through that and a forestry event spawned, you couldn't access it, even though you were doing what you were originally actually did with woodcutting was actually like chopping and using those logs. So I'm still upset about that. I was like so angry the first time I couldn't access event because I was actually efficiently playing the video game. So bastards.
I just hope they delete forestry and 2.6 Willows becomes good again.
yeah, that'd be nice.
Hopefully, maybe 2004 Escape will keep getting updated, and then we can have like the expansion where there's 2.6 tick willows.
I'm trying to think. Was 04 Escape discussed during the last podcast, or is that kind of like? I mean, I know Tana's been working on it for so long.
Whoa. Why did we cross out this this topic for?
Oh, I'm
Sure.
sorry. I was too quick.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
have the sheet up right now.
What is this asking?
It's the best question on the whole podcast.
Try to unstrike it.
Oh, is this a gnome
What?
cube question? Is that what this is?
No. Three tick
No,
inventory
no.
item versus like how free to play currently has options for tick windup, where it's only snow, auto retelling, and eating.
I think whoever asked this question just doesn't like snow, and they should get a grip.
Whoa. I did not actually ask this question or
Oh,
put
okay.
It's
this in here.
true. It's true. I
Okay.
typed this one out.
Oh, nice. All right. Okay, so for those that are just like basically not even getting this question, I'll read this question out. I like this question a lot. So, Would you like to see the implementation of a 3-tick inventory item? We're not talking about the gnome cube.
There
Or
could be.
is snow/eating/auto retaliate being the only forms of tick manipulation valuable to the essence of free to play? And I'll answer this. Hard leather body needs to be a 3-tick item. It's supposed to be, and all other leather actions are 3-tick. Make hard leather body a 3-tick action. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
think so. I think before forestry, I would have advocated for snow being the primary thing because I think that having 2.6 willows and snowfire is pretty cool as like uniquely like pretty complex, unique like free to play methods that both revolve around snow. But at this point, especially since also another change that has affected this opinion is the kick alt getting deleted from wilderness. I think at this point it would be cool to see it purely because our unique forms of tick manip have already kind of been butchered. Only snowfire is left alive at this point.
Yeah, because wood cutting's 2-tick. So it's really just snow's just used to fishing.
Yep, just fishing.
Yeah.
Sad.
So yeah, just obliterate it.
Good old snow.
Snow fishing is nice, yeah, but I don't think it's worth the trade-off of mining being eating up cakes and constantly being in a trade screen.
I agree. That is pretty stupid.
That change is always going to frustrate me, though. It did nothing. You could still be attacked while having a kicking alt against you. There was a period where you couldn't, but we've discussed this so many times on other podcasts, but at the time that they added the ability that you cannot click rock and mine the rock while under combat with another player, you could just be attacked while you were kicking yourself on an alt. And it would interrupt you, but you could still mine if you so wished.
Yeah.
That's how it is with Hunter too. If someone bull brags you with like shit gear, you can't hunt. And it sucks. Nobody likes it.
It's actually just terrible.
Yeah, literally
Terrible
nobody asked for this.
implementation.
Nobody likes it.
Yeah. If you're boxing yourself, for an example, have that be like a PJ type timer. If you're in the combat for 30 seconds or something, and you're just hitting yourself, doing null damage to yourself on either account, somebody else can jump in. Boom, solved. Like,
I mean, like,
yeah. That was, yeah.
Even just yesterday, Istra was like hunting, like doing like black chins, and like some like Venezuelan was just shooting him with a hunter's crossbow, like perma, and he just couldn't hunt. And the guy was like, "Why am I not killing you? I'm new to this." Just like cancer ragged for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's just torture. And Pawz, you're so lucky that you get to do mining while it was good.
Yeah.
Make mining
the best
great
parts
again.
of it. I did it. My favorite part was when no one could attack me. It was like they added this like weird PJ mechanic during like some dead man, but they implemented it into the main game as well, where like no one could attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I remember
that was amazing.
Yeah, I think that only lasted for like a month or less, though, didn't it?
No, it was like a year. It was like a really long time.
Yeah, they just put it in the rep caves, and then we're like, actually, we're just gonna make it everywhere for like a year, I think.
Cave, yeah, so it was something. I can't remember what it was exactly.
Yeah.
It is funny though that because magic isn't like a skilling activity, you can still telegrab a nature rune while you're being attacked. That doesn't get interrupted.
That's good.
So free to play Iron Men stay winning.
That's so unfair. That's so unfair.
And well, it's just it speaks to just like the stupidity of it all. Like, I don't know. Like,
I really just.
I mean, you're not safe at all.
It's
but,
multi, right?
Yeah,
shouldn't-
it's very
Yeah.
dangerous.
It
There
shouldn't
have been
exist. If I want to interact with a skilling activity while in the wilderness, the point of getting ragged is you getting hit by somebody else. If I'm getting hit by somebody else, it shouldn't stop me from being able to do the activity I was doing.
Yeah, I don't know how that
I
changes literally anything.
I ultimately should have to run away from this guy or I'm gonna die.
What a concept.
Like,
well, there's kind of like a weird
that's
question of like
insane.
when they put the game together, like why were there single combat spaces in the wilderness? Like just from like a lore perspective, like it always seemed very weird to me that some parts of the wilderness were single combat and some part were multi, for like seemingly no reason other than like this chunk is coded this way, this chunk coded the other.
Would
Like
love
it seems
to-
like it seems like the easiest change they could have made was make the entire wilderness multi, so
this-
you could
At this
never
point,
like
they
you couldn't
might as
box.
well. At this point, they might as well because, like you already have PvP worlds if you want to do one-on-one combat. So if you're gonna, and you have bounty hunters, so it's like if you're gonna want to do one-on-one stuff, go do those things. And if you want to go multi PK, you go to the wilderness.
People still like deep worldy PKing though at like a lava maze and shit. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty cool that there's like multi zones where it's like you like if you're getting hit by like a person in better gear, you run to like a multi zone and then like call your like friends to help you out.
But why not just already be in multi and just call your friends? to
Because
help?
then the other person has a chance to fight you, or they would get like absolutely like raped if they like stepped into the multi combat, or if they were like already in multi combat. But now they can like choose to not step into it with you.
No, like surely that's just like the risk of going into the wilderness is like, don't get
Nah.
into fights you don't want to get into, or like,
That
once you
shit would
step in
kill
there,
it
like
even
you are.
more.
I mean, kill what? Like, how many people are actually doing like wildy PKing like in just singles these days? And maybe I'm
A
just
decent
uninformed about it.
amount. Yeah, there's a decent amount still. Like there's entire like YouTubers that just like all their videos that they upload are
Would
like
it
singles
possible
deep worldy
to just
PKing.
go PvP world though? Like,
It's different. PvP world you can just telly out.
okay, well, maybe you make zones that aren't. I don't know.
And then it's just the wilderness. I think it's good as it is, but they should remove that change because it did fucking nothing. It sucks.
Yeah, this just stopping skilling arbitrarily from being in the wilderness while being attacked is just actually just dumb.
Yeah.
They needed
What
to
are
fix the boxing mechanic, not the freaking skilling while doing the thing. And they already
Yeah.
had that fixed. If I had my character hitting me and I was 3-ticking mining, somebody comes by and starts ranging me, I'm now in combat with that person.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess like maybe that's like the question is like,
What
if
did
they
it
already had
fix?
that first fix, like who brought on like enough of a stuff that like they would update it again?
I have
Like,
literally
was
no idea.
Was it people auto like you have to deal like damage to your ult, right? For you to
Yeah, you'd
I
have to
think it
hit.
really just came down to the fact that like I could use a splash weapon on both accounts, so I'm 100% safe while I'm in the wilderness. But like, make that a
No.
limit.
It
Make
you had to hit. You had to deal like a certain amount of. You had to
Yeah.
deal like a damage like every X amount of time. I don't remember what it was. It was like a minute or something.
so
yeah,
then
yeah.
it was already solved.
Yeah, it was.
I legitimately can't think of like dark crabs hunting. That's all people do. That's all they were like trying to think of. And then originally they implemented it with prayer as well, but then people like told them that was retarded and they immediately took it back. Because like Reddit like spammed them. But they didn't revert the rest of the changes for whatever reason.
It is all just ridiculous. It's I don't know. But here we are. We need a 3-tick item in free to play.
Supposedly.
that isn't snow or eating.
Just put the gnome cube in the holiday event, man. Just put the gnome cube in the bag.
I don't care for the gnome cube as much, but
I mean, it's like they
our
already
leather
like want
body is
it.
the easiest free to play solution for us. It really
Saber
is.
would finally like shut up about it, and then I don't know, they just throw it in there. and then we would have an item.
You know what? Add purple sweets to beginner clues.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
And then I
not
just have to
get
then I just
money
have to
lock.
pay
Yeah.
Probably not.
fortune to Tickmanip.
I mean, it's already a fortune to do prey and runecrafting, so
there
why
you go.
not?
Just make everything a Bible. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the purple sweets is nice because that means it's just gonna be like Reg that can do 3-titch, and Iron Man will still be
Yeah,
fortune
you
with
still
leather.
do the same thing that you got to do. Whatever. that
Imagine
is.
though rocking up to those rocks with a gnome cube in your hand, Iodiin.
I mean, snow is already like for 2 iron rock, like
Yeah.
snow is already perfect, pretty much.
Well, snow is a gnome cube. It's just you click the thing and then
Yeah.
you click the spot.
And you just have to pay attention to a little timer plug-in.
I think.
Yeah.
Halcyon's a gnome cube enjoyer.
I think they should.
No,
Supports the gnome cube.
I'll be the defender of snow here. I think snow is
It's
pretty good.
terrible.
Thank you.
I think it's
appreciate that.
good because
It's no rules.
I don't know.
but-
I think part of the charm of free-to-play stealing is that it's not pay-to-play. Click
So-
the 3-tick item in the inventory and keep going. I like how there's
I-
a nuance to it all. And like, yeah, I get it. Like, it makes the methods harder. And like, I know from like dealing with a lot of like the 385 noobs a lot, like some people just don't want to engage in like the current like efficient meta. A lot of people just want to wait. And like that's like a fair like assumption to it. It's like a fair like way to play the game. Like, you
I'll
know,
make
just
a
like wait until like the
compromise
better
against
things come
snow.
out.
I'll make a compromise against snow. So snow would be perfectly fine if you didn't have to leather or cake in between the every odd spawn of
Yeah.
the snow.
That's true.
Just don't.
If I could click the snow globe on the right tick and it always spawns the same scenario that I can always be 3-ticking if I click properly
Right.
without having to do another action to 4-tick or eat a cake to continue 3-ticking, then I'd be fine with snow. Snow's perfect at that point. I
Or
have
if it
no
just, like,
problems with snow.
Reset the pile or something.
But then you just eat a cake.
Yeah.
Right?
Or yeah, you just reset the pile by clicking it. Like that's fine. But it just isn't the reality. So it's not fun for me. I hate it. So
I don't like the trading yourself cakes meta.
yeah, I hate that as well.
That's the
terrible.
main reason. The only reason I'm like, if
No.
you could move while you.
You know what? I'm
Well,
with
you
you.
were
I'm
doing
with you,
snow.
Halcyon. Gnome Cube enjoyers, let's go.
I think.
Yeah.
I think Gnome Cube would be fine, but I think you would have to play. I think sounds should be on, and every time you click the Gnome Cube, it plays the armadillo crossbow sound.
Okay. It should play a Sebe sound clip every time you click it.
It's just move frog move every time you click it.
No, this is
You can also
just
just-
VR.
shout out Sebe. Honestly, like we wouldn't be here without a Gnome Cube scenario for free to play. So like keep pitching the Gnome Cube. We need it.
Honestly, we need it just so that he shuts up about it on the podcast. It was actually like an listenable part of the Darts podcast. It was so bad.
We need it now. So just put it in the game.
I enjoyed that. That
Gnome
was a good
Cube
podcast.
2025. Let's go.
Would you watch an ad to get the Gnome Cube?
You know, I just want to give a shout out to the Say Cast because I think it might have been that podcast. One of them he gave a shout out to our podcast. So
Oh,
shout out
yeah.
to the Say Bay
Yeah, what a
podcast.
beast.
Yeah,
Yeah, for all the people listening an hour 40 minutes into this, shout out
Yeah.
to
thank you.
Yeah, we're only on question 4.
Also,
Shit.
Disintegrate Granite is stupid if you're listening to this, Sebe. That idea sucks.
What was it?
Dropping
I
is
have
the
to
best
bounce-
part of Tickmanip.
No, dropping's
to
too
bounce
hard.
out
You
to
should
topic
have to do
5.
a mage book switch. Fucking.
Dropping and like 2-clicking is like part of the flow of Tickmanip.
Yes. Dropping is part of it. Keep the dropping in.
And it won't make people start Tickmanipping because they'll still look at it like it's like it'll still be considered like sweaty, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So they won't do it. Even if there's Gnome Cube and Disintegrate Granite.
Yeah, you have to remember how much like of this game is actually not just like aren't willing, they're against Tickmanip.
Yeah, they'll like
For
call you
really no
sweaty.
reason.
Yeah,
I really
Like-
think a cube plus disintegrate granite is going to get people to go away from going to volcanic mine instead.
Or just shooting
no,
stars.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, they're just not
and
shooting
the
stars.
stars. Yeah.
Varla mine as well.
Varla
Yeah,
mine,
they're at multi-load mine. Like,
Yeah.
Nah, Varla mine.
what noob is actually doing like volcanic mine?
None. They don't know how to play it. You have to learn a mini game, and you have to find friends to play it with you, and you have to want to mine. And your CC of weed smokers doesn't want to do mining.
It is so funny, like, I like. There's just a whole thing with like, why are so many people against the idea of being good at this game? And like,
It's
I
every
can't think of.
game.
I can't think of like. I mean, like, sure,
They
there's
have
some
other
games.
interests. They have
It's
other
every
interests
game.
than-
You're a sweat if you're high rank. You have
Yeah.
to
It's
go
not even high
outside and
rank
touch
though.
grass.
It's just like,
But
I don't know, like.
I don't even think that it's that at this point. Like most of the people that are complaining about skilling scenarios is because they're forced to go get a maxed cape for their PVM,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like they don't actually want to do the skilling methods. They just want to get back to what they actually enjoy within the game, and that's where like I don't know where the idea of like these things are going to all of a sudden make these sorts of players that have no interest in skilling in the first place are going to start enjoying it. They're just not. They're just going. They may try it out to try to get the levels faster, but that caps at max, so that they can go back to their thing that they enjoy in the game. It's not going to get people into skilling. It just is not.
Yeah. Right. That's like a whole
Guys-
nother rabbit hole. We can move to topic 5.
Yeah, yeah, we're going
I've got-
wild here.
I've got good news and
Topic
bad news.
5.
The bad news is I need to bounce. This has been incredible and almost 2 hours of amazingness. But before I bounce, I want to kind of revisit the badge thing on contest. And it's a cool thing to get like a badge on the site, right? What if on the next one we made a 3D printed version of your character that can fit on your desktop? It's very easy, and I would very much like to sponsor that. So this is a commitment. Whoever wins the next contest, you're gonna get a 6-inch model of your character in game.
Hey, fire.
Wow.
And I will FedEx this anywhere. So international folks, don't feel afraid. Just sign the customs report. And
You can make one for
oh.
Pawz in retrospect.
yeah, I mean, I might ask
Yeah,
him to help me with the 3D
make one for
modeling.
Pawz. Make one for Pawz for this last con.
We could do that maybe. It's not a bad start. So, all right,
Yeah.
it's been a blast, guys.
Sick. Thanks,
Yeah.
Charles.
Yep, thanks,
Oh, yeah.
Charles. Did Charles leaving mess up the
Yep.
tiles for our names? I
How did you
figured.
know that? How on earth did you know
I
that?
don't know why. I just like instantly thought of that, like the moment. So I
Oh,
remember like that would like
that'd
get
be
fucked up in some
so-
previous
It's
tiles.
alright,
I don't know
now-
if you like want to say just something to fix it.
I mean,
I'm
it's
sure
fine.
everybody knows who we are at this point. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It
Yeah.
just says private 2 where Charles was now. It's fine.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
Oh,
Easy.
it was perfectly slotted. Perfect.
And we could probably get like Water 9 in
Alright.
here just to fill that slot. but-
Oh.
I'll
Mid-podcast.
I'll go ahead and say topic 5.
Alright.
I know I'm clicking Ashes and Bones, so if there is anybody else that actually is doing something that's not intensive for the next questions, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can read them off as fellow organizer.
10
Yeah.
years of free-to-play old school RuneScape. 3 subtopics here. What was your introduction to free-to-play? Your favorite or most inspirational player? And do you think free-to-play is in a good state?
I'd like to hear first from the folks who have been here since the beginning, namely you, Pawz.
So me. No, I feel like no one
Yeah,
else
that
is.
was-
No one's been here since
That was you.
day one, except for. It's kind of weird to think about. There's like no one that plays since day one anymore, except for like.
Netbook, he was in beta, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was Netbook, Sofa, me, Phage, maybe. I can't remember exactly. Mid-level Skilla, obviously. And that's about it. That's like all who play anymore from day one. What was my introduction to free to play? I mean, I've talked about that like a disgusting amount of time, so I'm not going to elaborate on that. Most inspirational player, probably, I don't know, Just
And when
anyone
I
in
typed the question about the most inspirational,
yeah,
I was more curious of like, has that changed throughout the years as well?
yeah.
Not just like one person.
Not necessarily for me. Like I look up to those who I've mostly gained my inspiration from the pay to play players more than any free to play player, if that's fair. Just the people that put in like crazy hours, and it's kind of motivated me to emulate their actions in the free to play version, I guess. So, and I think free to play is in a good state. I would say it's in a great state right now. I think we've um rejuvenated its well-being. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, I think
Like
it's doing good right now. Yeah.
I
What were you
think
gonna
it's
say?
doing great because like we've had like just like the biggest comp we've ever had. We had like Phoenix got like recently formed. There's like new clans still like popping up. I think also like the only big like change that's happened since like damn near like release is forestry. Like significant change to the meta
Yeah.
and ashes, I guess.
I mean, I
I
don't know
can
if the game is
answer.
doing super well. I mean, the guy who's stealing table pawns said that stealing's dead, so
Oh,
I don't know if the
damn.
game is that good, really. But
That guy that kills cable bombs.
table bonds.
I can
Yeah.
answer as well. My like introduction to free to play was Pawz
Hey,
videos.
you're newer.
Yeah, I started in
What made
2022.
I think that's
what
kind of
made you
crazy that
play?
there's
Oh,
new
you're the
free to play
newest, yeah.
players.
Yeah, I started in 2022 and I was watching Pawz's maxing guide. I think I made a free to play UIM first.
Like, where did
And
you hear
Beast.
about RuneScape then? Like, that's what's wild to me is like,
Yeah, I agree.
oh,
I'll go further into mine later, but like, I find that crazy.
yeah, I'm also 19 for reference. Um, but I found out about RuneScape like when mobile launched, I played it for a tiny bit on like a Game Center account. And then in 2020 during like the pandemic, I like found it again because there was like a RuneScape video like on my like YouTube recommended feed. I think it was like Torvesta or something. And I was just like watching like framed in Torvesta videos. And then I started playing and I watched like all the like normie like RuneScape series like settled stuff and whatnot. And then I got kind of into like listening to like rambles. The first like person that I listened to rambles from, shout out, was Not Hard, the Iron Man.
Oh, I think I'm
Him and
subbed
like
to that person.
yeah, he hasn't uploaded in a while, I think, but he was like the first like rambles I ever listened to, and that like made me kind of look at the game differently. And eventually, like going through that like rabbit hole of rambles, I found Pawz's videos and Automology's videos, and that's what made me make a free to play account. Also, I wasn't really the biggest fan of members skilling, and free to play skilling looked really fun in comparison. I also don't really like doing like prereqs for shit. So it was really cool that you could just like kind of like go and immediately like off the rip do all the stuff. My favorite like player like style wise is Phage. Like his like videos where he has like the slideshows and like the like cozy music are so good. I love those so much.
I got into a couple different artists literally just from those videos, actually.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
same here. I have a story to tell, but I can't tell it during the podcast because it will dox me like 100%. So
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah, and here I'll go. Introduction to free to play was like forever ago. It's RS2 days. You'd see like Syzygy, who was first to max. S Diamond Y was a big name. So like, I started playing free to play back at that kind of point. But never really got anywhere. And then as old school came out, I was playing members accounts and trying to max and play a more efficient style, and then came across Pawz's videos as well, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna play a free-to-player like I did before, and it just went from there. My favorite or most inspirational players, well, I guess Pawz obviously got me back into free-to-play, so I gotta put him up there. But other than that, I'd have to give a shout out to like players from the past. Would be like Sarfot was a very inspirational skiller back when. But as of like nowadays skillers, I gotta give a huge shout out to Enjoys. Enjoys came and played free to play and completely changed everything. Just a whole other outlook on the game, and I've really adapted to a lot of the skilling methods and styles of just playing to that kind of micro efficient level of trying to get more XP out of what you can do and doing various multi-skilling methods and trying to push yourself to things that you probably would have tried to do before. And for free to play being in good state, all the pay to players are coming to free to play, and they're making new free to play accounts, and they're playing in comps, and they're playing free to players on the side of their mains right now. So yes, free to play is in an awesome state. Enjoys, come back to free to play if you're still listening to this. That's insane, but yeah, come back to free to play after you're done 4.6 this month.
And specifically come back to his free-to-play UIM.
Oh
no.
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 XP
The rag.
BDD.
The rag.
I'm ready for the Caesar shootout comeback.
No, the
The
XP
600 month.
and he gets rank 1 free to play. Just blows us all out of the water with 5k years. Let's go.
Yeah. I think that's everyone.
I guess I
right?
can
Or
go
no, DJ hasn't
next
spoken.
then. Yeah, I'll go next. So I have like kind of like a I guess first I have a very similar story to a lot of other free to players in the sense of I wasn't fortunate enough to have played on a membership account back during the RS2 days. I had a family situation in which my parents were only buying one membership account, and my older brother was the obvious pick for that, and I was forced to play free to play and watch along as he did the pay to play stuff. So I had some ideas and some like nice nostalgic memories of doing some like very newbie pay or free to play activities, but what got me back into old school during COVID was actually kind of a chance thing. So one of my real life cousins was, and shout out to Nechi Yacht. So what happened was he had gotten into a university pretty close to my hometown and was in a situation where he wasn't gonna be living in the dorms and he wasn't gonna have money for his own housing. So my parents ended up taking him in for a couple of years while he finished university. And I had not played RuneScape for years, but he was very big into playing RuneScape at the time. He was playing both a pay-to-play main and a play-to-play Iron Man. And we kind of shared a space where we each had our PCs, and I would see him play a lot, and he convinced me to get back into it. So big shout out there. I wouldn't have been playing RuneScape at all unless that had happened. And then, obviously, as for inspirational and favorite players and such, I think I speak for pretty much any free-to-play Iron Man who started anytime after 2017, and that Automelogy had a very big hand through his series. Say what you want about the guy, but he definitely did inspire a majority of this player base, to at least the Iron Man side of this player base. But I think there's definitely been some highlights of the years of people. Pawz, obviously, your mats and guides were like my introduction to efficiency. Fringe or whatever, like you explained skilling in a very simple way that made it very beginner friendly, I should say. But then on the other side of that, there are also players like Tanardino, who I still kind of see as like a mentor when it comes to like Ironman stealing. Just somebody who's willing to put the time in to learn the micro for a lot of methods and such, and show that off that some of these rates are possible. And then I think obviously Minimal Stilla is very big inspiration, not in the sense of the micro efficiency side of things, but as someone that who is coming into my 5th year of free to play, I hope to be at that level of consistency of just playing every single day for a decade, and to still keep going, to still have goals that you're trying to reach and such. And then also, maybe not as in the sense of like inspirational, but well, actually, no, I think that's the right word, in the sense of there was a time where I was very reluctant to get into like efficient stealing, and I would see some of these like newer like accounts that are younger than mine, people like Zypher, people like Iaboob, who came into this game and were like very willing to do micro efficiency, and that sort of like gave me the kick in the butt of if they can do it, surely I can be doing it too. So yeah, kind of a lot of names there, but it's definitely a lot of people throughout the years have definitely like inspired me from different ways. So definitely a big shout out to all of them.
I thought it's just Oprah over here handing out.
I know. You get a fur. You get a chip.
Man, you kind of stole
No,
mine,
that's
honestly,
awesome.
because I was gonna say, just kind of like there wasn't really one person that really inspired me, although it was Autumnology's videos that I did watch first, and then yeah, Pawz Maxing Guide and all that. But I mean, really, what's kept me around is just the community, and I mean the CC, of course, as a whole. It's just been great to be a part of it. Like I don't think I'd keep playing if it was just me playing free to play for not for myself, because I do play for myself, but just if I felt like I was the only really person doing it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess for my introduction to free to play, yeah, I guess was yeah, Automelody's videos as for most, Pawz videos as for most.
It's funny too with like when I wrote this question, especially about like the inspirational players, like yeah, like I was like specifically thinking about that in the sense of like how different people have like kind of molded the experience over the years. Especially just like DJ, when did you actually start playing? Like, do you remember what year that was?
Dude, yes, it was '06, September '06. I don't know why I remember it specifically. I do know why. Well, I walked in on my uncle, who he's like 4 years older than me. It's kind of a weird situation. He was playing it, so I was probably '06. Good God.
I
I
also
don't know, I was like
played
8.
06. I
I
was
was
also
like,
8. Yeah.
okay, no. Yeah, I think you're like what, a year older than me. I was probably like
Maybe.
7. Yeah, it was around that time. Um, I walked in on him. He was killing the rats in the tutorial island, and I was like, "Wow, what the hell is this?" And I don't remember exactly how long, like how many days it was before I actually started playing, but I remember the night I made an account, I got super sick off a dinner my mom made. She made enchiladas, I'm pretty sure, and
That's
it made
really specific.
me so sick. I remember it like so vividly because I hate throwing up. Like it's like the worst for me. So that was when I created my RuneScape account, and my first name was Dad is Cool 28 because my dad.
Yo, what
Shout
up?
out DJ's dad.
Yeah, dude, you have to make it. And I got.
Honestly, DJ's dad's actually so cool.
Oh yeah,
We
you talked to
video
him. That was
chatted.
so
And
funny.
by the way, to just like put into a segue, I don't know if we've had a podcast since Pawz has been married. So if you're still watching, Pawz is married. Congratulations. Myself, DJ, and Pawz were all at the wedding. Obviously,
That was
Pawz
so
was
great.
there. Yeah, we had an absolute blast. For me and DJ, it was the first time we've met up, so that was awesome. And yeah, we split a Airbnb and stayed up drinking all night, and
Yeah, you guys are crazy. They
Yeah,
had
we
some
just-
sleep debt for drinking.
yeah, we just had an absolute blast. So that's a little sidebar to that, and just congratulations to Pawz on getting married, and
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, late
that's,
GZ.
that's all I've got to say.
GZ.
Do I? Yeah, we all hung out after. It was a good time.
We need some more free to play IRL meetups.
I agree. I don't know how we're gonna organize that, or
100%.
like get people to have the motivation to actually like purchase plane tickets to go see each other, but
Yeah,
We
especially
could-
when we
we could
can't when we
do-
can't even afford membership.
yeah, or like
Yeah.
or like agree on like a time to do a comp. So
I wish like there was a Rune Fest in the US.
yeah, that'd be so nice.
They've talked
Yeah.
about it, I swear. Like, so it wasn't like there's supposed to be a US Rune Fest in 2020, like the year COVID happened. Like, I swear there's something like that they were planning on doing something here in the US, and then just delay after delay. It would be nice though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they suck at organizing events.
Peru.
suck at
I think
Yeah,
all the
we
tickets got like scalped for this Rune Fest as well. Like surely it's just impossible to get a ticket at this point.
Yeah.
Also, I did see the photos from that wedding, and I understand now why DJ9 was already voted the cutest admin. I see it.
God.
Yeah, 100%.
We all had there's a fancy boots socks on the Jagex store that we all bought, and we wore those.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Love that.
That was the best scenario. I look.
I mean, they are
huge
best
in
in slot. Yeah.
They go
huge
hard
in
to
those
the
photos because I tied my tie too short. It's lovely.
All right. Do we want to move on? Next topic.
Sure.
What do we got?
So, topic number 6 is music, TV, / movies, or voice chat while escaping. Anyone want to take it?
All
can
the
start.
above.
Yeah. Kinda
Yeah.
Everything.
But I will say getting into voice chat more is 100% worth it for players that don't. I find that in free-to-play voice, we're not always there.
Yeah.
So we always say this, revive free-to-play voice, but like really we do need to get in voice more. If you don't go in voice and chat with the clan that you're in, maybe give it a shot, because we're not the most CC talkative, and the only way you're really going to get to know people is if you jump in voice and have conversations. It also passes the time way easier while
Yeah, for
playing.
Someone
the
said
game.
that the other night. They joined and they asked for a rank, and I was like, I think they only had like 80 PHP, and I was like, you need 250 or whatever, and he was like, all right, I'll stick around. And then like 5 minutes later, he was like, y'all are awful quiet. Y'all must be getting the EHP or whatever. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's the typical CC scenario, but I would 100% suggest people just jump in voice with people. It's way more fun to talk to people while playing this game than to just sit watching TV or just listening to music.
It depends on how social you are, but I also agree. VCing is pretty goated. That's my primary activity at this point. Like I spend probably like, because I'm neat right now, so I spend like 99% of it, or like maybe like 90% of the day VCing and like 10% watching videos / listening to music.
Yeah, I mean, I still am listening to music or watching videos while I'm in voice, but
Yeah, I can't watch videos
it's-
while
it's-
I'm in voice, but I can
I can
listen
watch
to
like
music.
YouTube stuff and whatnot, but like I can't like watch a TV show or a movie while in voice. It's just not.
Yeah,
I can't
don't
really
like
do that.
I don't like even like watching streams where people are like, where I'm trying to understand what someone's saying while VCing.
Yeah, I can't do that either. But like I'll watch like UFC while voicing with like friends and stuff. But
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah, if it's mostly visual, then it's fine. But if they're trying to explain something, it's cancer.
yeah.
I have kind of. I mean, I'm like the very shy person in this group, but for the longest time, I did not like the idea of voice chatting with like random people on the internet, especially with like how infrequently we did have voice chats, and there's certain individuals that were in voice for the few times that I would try to go on in the past, and you can only be called the F slur and the R slur enough times before you kind of see like all of free to play voice chat is like not being worth your time, and that definitely like turned me off to the idea of like being in voice for a long time really. But yeah, it was actually it was the Terry comp this past year that I was forced, not forced, but I was very much like recommended to be in a voice chat. I've been going to the free to play voices, but this was like I don't know, it was a very like after spending like a lot of time, like especially like starting to like know the individuals that are in there, that definitely like opened up the idea more, and like just how in general when there's a voice chat that you see people that that are in, like I won't lie, like almost like people like T Basher and Halcyon specifically, where like I would get into a new Discord, I'd be like kind of intimidated to join voice, but I would see like Halcyon's in like ML Cord or Freck's in Yeet Cord, and that would definitely like that'd be like a nice little like lower entry barrier to go in and hang out.
Yeah,
And I'm glad I do.
definitely.
Just voice is definitely like a very enjoyable way to play the game. Though it is
Yeah,
nice.
shout out.
I gotta
Oh, yeah.
I gotta give a shout out to Ook, our captain for Terry. Me and Iodiin were on
Yes.
Ook's team. Jumping into to voice with everybody has basically just elevated the ability to just jump in voice with other gamers now because they're almost always in voice every day. So it's always nice if there's no one else also in voice in other discords that I can almost always show up there and there's people. So
Yeah, huge shout out to Yeet Cord and ML Cord. Those voices
Yeah.
are like always active. Like there's always like somebody in there.
100%. So yeah, big shout out to Ook for just being so welcoming and just a great captain. So enjoyed the comp and love being able to talk with everybody.
Yeah, it's funny. I have like a routine now for my like usual weekday where like I'll wake up, and when I get on my PC and like start working, like if I don't have like a work meeting going on, I'll cycle through like I have like a Nebula subscription, so I'll see if there's any new videos on there. I'll check YouTube, both like my personal YouTube and my like RuneScape YouTube for like the different content those see. And then it's like after that, then I'll join voice if like if one of the voice chats are popping off, and if not, then I'll like watch a show or listen to music. I used to be like a big like music only, but now it's like really only like when I'm in voice or when I'm streaming is like when I'll play music. And also another shout out to Tanner Juno for introducing me to jungle.
Ooh, yeah. Huge influence on my music taste is Tanner for D&B and Pilot Red Sky.
Oh yeah, did your taste in music change during just skilling? Huh? Yeah. Not for me.
I added that question kind of like because like I was thinking about how like there's a bunch of like mixes I have now that I would never have listened to if it wasn't for like a couple individuals.
Yeah, I got into hard tech because of skilling as well. That's a really good genre. And it's really popular with like League, but I didn't like know about it before skilling.
I got into a very specific artist from a Hebox video, and that like artist got me to search up the right keywords to find sambas, like Brazilian D&B, which is like one of my favorite genres now.
What DJ or what artist?
Bel Air.
Hmm.
It's like the video where it's in his like max speedrunning video when he's like doing the O+4 lavas, and it's that song that's playing. There's like my introduction to that like whole side of like sambas and like D&B in that regard.
I should watch that back. I've watched all the like Lost in the Flows, but I didn't really watch his Max series too closely.
I thought it was
It
cool
was a good
content.
series.
There are a lot of like RuneScape series in general, which are like pretty fun to watch. Like I try to watch all of the like free to play Iron Man progress videos. Even though they get they generally get pretty boring pretty quickly. But I actually did think that the He-Bots and JCW match speedruns were, I thought they were really good because like there's not a lot of series on YouTube for RuneScape that like solely focus on skilling that aren't just like, you know, ramble videos. Which like ramble videos are like all like good and well to listen to. But it is nice when like I feel like they did like a really good job of like explaining the skilling methods and then just showing them doing it. And then of course, you know, there's just watching streaming of people doing the stealing method in real time. I feel like Twitch is one of the first websites I open up during the day to see, you know, who's online, who's doing what.
That as well. Yeah, streams are really big for entertainment. If I'm not in voice, I'm usually either like I'll have like a show binge that I'm watching or just music or a stream.
I feel like there was like a golden age of free to play stealing sometime last year where there were like 6 or 7 very active free to play RuneScape like stealing streams. And that did sort of drop off. Just like there's a time where like you, me, Pawz, Freck, Inducted,
Freck?
Basher. Freck streamed a couple times.
Pause?
Couple.
Pawz, you were streaming a decent amount. Like you would stream like once a
This
month
is
for
probably
like, a little
about 2
while.
years ago.
Or 2 years ago, yeah,
maybe
maybe not
2 or
last
3
year.
years ago, not last year. Though.
2 or
Yeah.
3 probably.
Okay, but like
It's all around.
when did we have the 12 days of stealing streams?
That was 2 years ago.
When
I
was that
think,
event?
right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that might be what I'm thinking of. That was like a cool time. I would be very open to seeing events like that in the future. You know, just getting more people to stream, and I feel like that's a really cool way.
Yeah, I do too many PvP methods. Streaming is just
True.
pure ragging myself.
Yeah.
I also feel like whenever I stream, like people are always like, "Oh, I love when you stream. Why don't you stream more?" When I stream, I get like 8 viewers, and like no one talks. So.
Well, yeah, you should try streaming on Twitch again because it's like much more active than YouTube, I feel like.
Well, I don't. I mean, I don't
100%.
stream on YouTube that much, but yeah.
Yeah, just the few times you have like recently. I've like watched them, but I don't really type on YouTube. I only type on Twitch usually.
Yeah, I didn't see you did that like 04 State YouTube stream until after the fact. Where like, usually like I have
You did an 04
Twitch
stream?
open.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
do that.
Exactly,
It's like
yeah.
it's like a good
Segue
like
into the next
archiving
question.
thing. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
No, I was saying segue into the next question.
Oh, true. I think we covered it a little bit at where like we were talking about ads as well, but we could still talk about. Do we talk about 2004 Scape enough?
No, I think we really should talk about it. 'Cause, like,
Okay.
we've been alluding to it this whole podcast.
Yeah. Well, will you be playing 2004 Scape?
I will. I guess I'll start with that. I think that I'm not gonna main it. You know, I'm still gonna be focusing the account I'm playing now, but I think it's a cool thing that's coming because not only have I like known a developer who has put like so much like time into developing it, like to a point where like I really hope that the individual like Tanner, you know, I really hope that they like use the skills that like they've learned by doing it to like actually build maybe a professional career out of it. But yeah, like I've been following the development for a long time, and I know a lot of other people who are saying that they're gonna play it. So I think like those combination of things, like I'm definitely gonna sign in day one of beta, and
Yeah,
I would like to like contribute to the success of that game.
it's gonna be fun.
I don't see myself playing it. I have my goals in old school, and yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
think that's enough, Rooney.
Yeah, I was gonna make an account and then I was like, oh shit, what should I even set my password? Because I don't want to set it as my old school password because then fucking anybody on the dev team could just hack me.
Yeah, I just
So
made
then
up
I
a
stopped
whatever
making the
password.
account. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's just it would just take away from whatever else I'm doing, and I just don't need to play this game more than I already do. So
I like 2004 just because it feels like it's like very similar. Like all the sprites and like the way the game world looks is exactly the same as when I started in like 2006. Like they didn't change too much. Or no, I started in 2005 actually. I want to say I started in 2005. I think it was like March 2005. Anyway, so like it's very nostalgic to me for that reason. Plus, I don't know. I appreciate the core game mechanics and no additional layers that Jagex has added in recent years. So I don't know. I'm very interested in playing it, and I definitely will be playing. I can't see myself getting like super into it unless they really go forward with all the the ads and stuff like we talked about before. Um, but you know, I'll always be playing Pawz on old school RuneScape unless things get out of hand in this game, and then I could see myself fully committing. But yeah, I'm just playing it for casually at the moment, like the alpha version, and then beta is coming out as of February 1st. So for some context for everyone.
Yeah, I think I would really like it. I'm kind of like, I think having just like one client open would be really nice. Like right now, my screen looks like a fucking. I only
Yeah.
have one monitor, and it looks like somebody like threw up a bunch of clients all over it. Because I just have like 6 RS3 clients and 3 old schools.
It does seem like kind of like the problem with all of the like private server, no, or emulation server, whatever they want to call it. Like there is a problem when like we all know that we're gonna be maintaining our like old school RuneScape accounts. So like over the past like year, it's been like, or maybe like 2 years, like there's been like a resurgence in like RuneScape Classic and O5 Scape and Brighter Shores and now O4 Scape. Like I I want to see people like really play these other things, but like at the end of the day, like I understand when we just want to focus the game that we're actively playing. So yeah, I don't know. It's like kind of a problem with just getting people involved. Also, DJ, I think I interrupted you.
No, you're good. I mean, I already started playing a little bit. The stats stick after the beta starts, right?
Yeah.
Was that already said? Hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna play it a little bit for sure. But I'm not gonna take it too serious. I'm not gonna put like my old school goals on hold to like start maining that. Unless like y'all said, ads get out of hand. That would be so crazy. But then you also have to think like O4 is like O4 Escape obviously like isn't completely immune to being shut down too. So it's like I don't know. Definitely don't want to take it too serious.
Yeah, it was somewhat reassuring to me that Tanner's like said that they wouldn't just like back down immediately if Jagex tried to shut it down. Like they would actually try and get them to.
you get a message from a lawyer, you're gonna just shut it down. You're not winning that battle.
Yeah,
Sorry,
maybe.
but it's over at that point. The server will be shut down. There's no lawyer that's going to say, yeah, you did not infringe on their copyright.
Well, they have to prove that they used all those assets, apparently.
I mean, they also just state it when you log on to their website.
Yeah.
If you go to 2004 Scape, they literally say this is all RuneScape assets. We do not own anything.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
they're well aware that they're in copyright infringement. So it's a passion project, and hopefully Jagex can just appreciate that instead of shutting it down. But I guess
Yeah.
time will tell.
Yeah, never as much guarantee as with a giant multi-million-dollar company running it.
Yeah, still trying to squeeze us for more.
Yeah.
I know this just happened recently, like a very similar situation with like a fan made Call of Duty server. I forget what it was called.
Yeah, I've
But it
heard
was
about
like,
that.
and
Yeah, the
the
Modern
way they
Warfare
did
2
it was so
one, right?
weird too. Yeah, it was like you had to physically buy a copy of like the Modern Warfare Remastered or whatever, and in order to play this fan made game, and like the developers didn't even like make any money off of it, and then like apparently as soon as everybody bought the game, like the night before that it released, they like shut it down on them. So I mean, who knows? We could, I mean, like it could be shut down before February 1st, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they'd have to be pretty actively looking at those things to be shutting it down before it
Yeah,
goes
it's
live.
definitely
But
not as big as the
I,
Call
I
of
could, s-
Duty fan-made game,
I
obviously,
could see
but
it, being live for a few months before they see anything of like a cease and desist or whatever.
Yeah.
So
If it gets
yeah.
popular, like extremely popular, I could see it.
been a couple
Yeah.
tweets about it that have blown up though.
Yes, the Slayer music one has like
Slayer music
4K
one went
likes or
freaking
something. Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is like, I mean, there's like, at the very least, like, there is precedent with like Giants themselves. Maybe not backing down, but like, if you remember from the whole like 117 HD fiasco, like that was a very similar situation. Like, somebody on their own develops something related to the game that Giants themselves eventually wants to do. They almost shut them down, but then, Redditors just come save the day. Like, everybody complained that all this time was wasted or whatever, and eventually they did allow 117 to stick around.
The best case scenario for 04 Escape would be that Jagex actually inquires it,
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
which would just mean that all of the developers that put their time and effort into it would not be given really any credit.
I don't think they would
But
care. It seems like it's more of like they did it because they wanted to preserve it rather than they wanted the credit for it, you know what I mean?
I think honestly the best case scenario is that Giants just doesn't know about it ever.
Oh, that
Like,
too, yeah.
because like they went through their first big purge of all the private servers, and like maybe that was like enough in their mind that like they're not gonna waste man hours to go like hunt down more. Or maybe like they just have enough faith in Project Xanaris whenever that comes around that that's just going to be enough for people, and they just
But
don't look into it anymore.
that itself could be a push for a reason to
Yeah.
acquire this 04 server.
So
Yeah, I have no idea what Project Xanaris is even.
yeah, I agree. Can we talk about that? Because like people in my chat were talking about that when I was streaming 04. I don't really see how can that produce 04 at all? Like I understand they
But
can like
according
limit
to-
things,
It's
but
not going to be able to produce 04 because it's still going to have a core basis of 07,
yeah.
right? I really think it's just more so that Jagex themselves, if they saw 04 as a popular scenario, they're not just going to let it stay open. So what they would do is they would essentially, without even having to purchase it, they would just own it through a court order, and then they would have it as a separate scenario that you could play 04.
I'd be okay with that.
It is technically their property. They could decide to go full-blown court order scenario with it and own what you've just developed and made. And you'd have to hand it over. So, yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of good things to say from a like it staying around and being owned by the people that developed it. It's either a full-blown shutdown or Jagex takes it over.
Mm.
And they would win that court case no matter what. Not just through a money scenario of hiring better lawyers or anything. It's just, it is their property.
Yeah.
I just hope that there's some reality in which we, like, players can experience the 04 like part of the game, and another side of it where, you know, the people who did put all this time into 04 Escape like get something out of it. So
Yeah, like the best thing is they just ingest them as, you know, developers on their team to support 04. I don't know.
especially because like it's like
But
able to be played in browser, like
yeah.
uh,
Alright, should we move on to EHP methods?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your favorite EHP method for any skill, and what is your favorite non-EHP method?
Halcyon, you want to start?
Sure. Favorite EHP methods? Maybe Dolo RC. I think it's pretty fun.
It'd be fun if it was free.
Yeah.
Yo, true.
Well, actually, don't make it free, because then free-to-play HL will. Actually, well, it's fine if it's free. It just has to have the same like buy limit issue.
It's like your rich friend saying that their favorite sport is yacht racing. It's like, okay,
Okay, buddy.
It's
cool. You have
not.
money. You're rich.
Well,
Cool.
I think lion fire making is my favorite non-EHP method. Fire making is just a sick ass viable. Cutting diamonds is also pretty nice, I gotta say. Shout out to
Hey,
cutting
dude.
diamonds.
Yo,
Oh
true.
my gosh.
I ran it all down. It's all gone.
I still got a bit left. Man, I think honestly, after I freaking learned that you needed to be on Rapid, I think kick alt mining, traditional kick alt mining is the best. God, it's so good.
After you learned that you needed to be on Rapid.
Yeah,
After you
accurate till
put your bow on
95,
app, accurate, yeah.
95 or
He's like-
96.
He's like, Pawz, I can't figure it out. Why can't I do mining correctly?
Shout out to I Have Boob for attempting the 2-tick oak sit sour with the goblin short bow.
Oh, that was a banger. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, the Goblin Shortbow is not a 3-tick weapon.
I guess I'll go. Favorite EHP method for any skill, anything RC related. And what's my favorite non-EHP method? Oh, brawlers.
Stupid.
That's actually facts.
No, I just really love flush crawlers.
I just love not playing the game.
Yeah, you know, that's really solid.
No, I'll be serious here. That was obviously just a meme for it. I think you know what? This one's hard. Maybe farmer woodcut. Like it's not that great, but it's kind of okay. I don't know. I don't have a great one for non-EHP. I do
Surely
tend to
solo
think
body
there's an
tallies.
EHP scenario. Oh yeah, I mean that would
Yeah,
that
that
would
would be
be it.
great.
That would be the favorite. Yep, it's all RC. You're right.
Yeah. I think rune two-handers are pretty lit too.
Yeah,
There
true.
are.
I think I like 2-tick oaks currently as the EHP method. but that's not a very high standard because all the methods I did previously are no longer EHP. So
But
I
you
really,
could say that it like the method at the time.
yeah, I mean, but like currently, I guess 2-tick oaks, old methods, it's like shithouse 3-tick snow fishing is pretty great.
Fire trickle video.
Yeah, and then but as of now, non EHP methods. Let's see. Yeah, I'd have to agree. Just solo body TRs is such a good method. It's like it kind of reminds me of like solo lavas, sort of. I don't know, just good.
It's
RC is
so
great.
good.
Yeah.
It is so good.
I can go. At least on the Iron Man side of things, I think the superheat smithing method is really like nice to get into because you have like different options for getting 1-to-1, and it also includes the just various different methods involved with preparing to do superheating. I think it's like really cool. Like the whole smithing side of free to play Iron Man is just like a really cool story of how you get everything you need to do it. But I'm actually surprised that Halcyon didn't say this. I think my favorite non-net method is Solo Eerie.
That's true as well.
It's just such a good method, and I'm not saying curse Automelogy for making Snowfire ep or making like all fire makers like the app for that, but Solo Eerie is just so nice.
Yeah,
It's just
honestly,
so
just
fun.
let the
Shout out to
Snowfire risk
Eerie.
over.
True.
Solo is so good, but I think I still prefer line fire making. There's just something about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Did
Did
DJ
DJ
go?
go?
Yeah, it was well, I mean, nothing. I think all the EHP methods these days suck ass, honestly, but
Agreed.
Yes, come on.
Yo, facts.
Down with the Iron Man
wait,
overlords.
I thought there was a question about. Oh yeah, there is a thing about changes. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna get to that. So I know people were talking about like EHP being like the most like the absolute best thing you can do. And I know a lot of people were against that, and I was too. But now, like, I kind of agree. I don't care if it is that or like gets changed to that or not. But like, I don't know. It would just be easier to just like, no, I'll never get 1-to-1. You know,
For like
and just
comps, that really sucks, and it's also
Yeah.
not comparable
yeah,
I
for.
agree for that.
yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, it would be nice to have like the fantasy EHP still.
Currently our rates like match like main rates, and I think it'll always be that way. Like we like
Yeah,
take like basically like
go
basically
ahead, sorry.
copy over like 1-for-1 what like mains have for various things. Like
They
if
take
they have
precedent.
fire 1, we have fire scatter at the same like efficiency rate that they have it
Right.
and whatnot.
No, yeah, I agree.
And it's like it serves as a useful tool for competing with one another and comparing as well, which is like the whole point of EHP. It isn't supposed to. I think people like misunderstand the like objective of EHP a lot in like discussions. It's just a like a point system to compare skillers to one another. It's not supposed to be this like perfect metric,
Yeah.
and it's also like good for competitions, which is another way of comparing people to one another.
I only answered the first part of this question, but the changes to EHP that I'd like to see is Iron Man and Ultimate Iron Man get 0 EHP for combats, but stick.
And all their
True.
methods require perfect tick because their methods are stupid.
Yeah. Like I think they already have pretty strict rates for like
have some
the actual
strict
EHP
rates.
methods, but they like store, and then the
But
stored methods get scaled badly in comps so that they can get over.
Pay to play Iron Man does not consider the fact of you going and killing something to get XYZ supply.
Yeah, you get 0 while you're mining day alt. Like absolute
So-
0.
And you get 0 for mining in free to play Iron Man. You should not be getting EHP
Yeah.
for sitting at flesh crawlers.
It's just, yeah.
It's dumb.
Well, I mean, the problem there is that the fact that flesh crawlers do drop a useful skilling supply. So I do agree with you that like no free to play Iron Man should ever kill spiders. Like,
But that should
Like-
just be accounted into the actual skill that you have to end up training.
but I mean, it kind of is, right? Like, the people who
Mm.
kill fleshies for free to play Iron Man, they're only getting 0.5. Like,
but
they're
they
not
just have-
getting 1-to-1 for like doing the, like they're still gaining
Then they get
supplies from
1.2 later.
they
So
get
it's like
15
effectively the
So it adds up to
right?
like
EHP
1.6 for
worth
2
of
hours
being able
then?
to,
Like,
like it kind of is. I don't know.
there was a really interesting idea floated around in one of the Discords not too long ago. I think this was in response to like some of the competition stuff going on with if there was some way that all the bonus XP for all of combats in free to play could be scaled to prayer or like have a prayer bonus XP. Because that I think would, and like this is coming from someone who does not know how the bonus XP calculations work exactly, but there are some ideas floated around of like essentially if you're not getting prayer XP during melees or just during any combat at all, then you should be getting like nothing essentially, like very close
Yeah.
to 0 EP.
Yeah, prayer to hit points ratio where your combats get scaled based off of your hit points and your prayer. But
I think the problem though that like a lot of us are gonna run into with that is nobody that like I feel like there's a lot of these like flashes of time where like everybody really cares about like free to play Iron Man rates, and then a day later nobody cares and like no work gets done. Like it like I know like even like some pay to players have like offered to like write better rates for free to play Iron Man. Like I know Kella was talking about developing the Hitler rates, but
they're already like good. I don't know.
listen,
It's
like,
just-
like we have Tanardino like running all of our like micro stuff, and like personally like it's like kind of the curse of Tanner too. Just like I'm always on the side of like if anything is ever going to be app, it needs to like there needs to be an hour of a human being doing it, not just like a spreadsheet saying it's possible. But the problem is that
Shut
Tanner
up,
can actually just
Autology.
do these methods, and so it's
I
like
don't feel like an hour's
like
enough. Anyone
Yeah,
can
they-
do an hour just to
Yeah.
prove a point, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Do a week, do a month, even not a month. I'm
Yeah.
not doing a month. That's
But yeah, like multiple
that's
people should
epic.
do a method to 200 mil. That's usually how it's like quantified in pay to play.
Yeah.
yeah, we just
Yeah,
need
we
more
don't
200
have
mils
that
to be
level of
hit.
player base.
If I
Yeah, I mean,
can if I can
I mean,
interrupt
Min
here,
might hit 200 mil crafting in the next couple of years. It's possible.
if I can interrupt
And the
It's
problem though
doing
is that like
crafting
all
right
the people
now.
who have hit 200 mil for a free to play combat for Iron Man, almost all of them have been fleshies.
Yeah.
Like Tanner and
And they
Helpless
just-
Mob are the only exceptions with doing Hill Giants, and the
And
Hill
they
Giant
just
rates are
don't
cracked.
And they don't have the supplies that are comparable to the EHP they actually have on the website.
right. Anyway, yeah.
Drives me nuts. I don't know.
It is tough
Like-
too, just like in the perfect world where everybody has like 80,000 hours worth of time to finish the methods, like yeah, like eventually one day, players like Automology will be punished for camping inefficient melees. But when you have an unfinishable game mode,
Yeah, exactly.
it's very tough to because like Ep's all about finishing the game mode. So
I kind of think it shouldn't have been added to Temple. Like, I kind of think it should have stayed like on free to play wiki. Has like a niche, like little like thing that you can look at. But
It's non-completable, so
yeah,
kind of
So-
same
weird.
free to play level 3 is also pretty redundant. There's way too many tabs on there. One dev, free to play level 3, like free to play Iron Man. Like, what are these accounts? Why do they need Temple tabs?
I don't know.
they have people that are loud enough in the Temple Discord to get these types made.
Yeah,
So speaking of, are there any changes you'd like to see with EHP? As someone who just did a 130 woodcutting week, I don't think that woodcutting EHP should be 108k. Not a really huge change, but I think it should be 105k. Reason being, you get crashed a lot doing 2-tick oaks. Doesn't matter what world you're on. There are people that will kill your rats pretty frequently. I would say you get crashed on average like about one every 4 hours or so, which requires you to reset the rats. And granted, you can do it on an alt, but even then, it's hard to like maintain doing 1-to-1 while resetting it on an alt. So I don't think it should be 108k. I think the people that come up with that kind of numbers, like not just woodcutting in general, but like all skills, they don't do these things for long periods of time. They do it for like an hour, and they're like, yeah, this should be the EHP because I can do it for 6 hours. But long term, it's not that viable to get that number personally. So that's my
Yeah,
opinion.
it was originally so it went from the original rate was I think 110k, and then it went down to 105k, and then it was a big complaint in comps. So
Yes, the
like
long
part of the
term,
it,
you're not getting
yeah,
that number. So
yeah. So the 108k was from talking to Inducted, and he was
inducted is a
like, I
different
should,
type of human being. So
yeah, he was like,
But
I should,
Inducted
it
also
should,
just wasn't crashed.
yeah, he wasn't crashed
Right.
nearly as much because Leagues Worlds weren't a thing, and he was like, I don't know, he's gotten like multiple like 112 6 hours off or whatever.
okay.
Um,
As
which is
the owner of the Iron Man crafting hour record that was not able to get 1-to-1, I think that the free play Iron Man crafting rate should be decreased a little bit. For the same reason of crashers.
Yeah.
the 108k though is kind of like a compromise between like people wanting to Hitlerify it and versus the 105 rate. But we could just honestly like have the 105 rate outside of comps, and then in comps have it 108 if it's like paid players are like complaining about it, which is what happened before. It was like there's like a message from Kella where he was like free to players like free to play is getting piss easy over EHP doing 2-tick oaks or whatever.
Well,
The
that's
diamond
again.
regarded will not get 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Inducted is
diamonds are
different.
just basically perfect tick now for app, which is fine because it's very little effort at all to do. But something like oaks that are 100% crashable long term, I agree. It doesn't need to be that high, but during a comp and things, if we need to compromise and have a little bit of a scaled scenario for it, then so be it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I assume long term over the hours of having to lure, getting crashed, etc., that average rate, even if you are perfect tick at it, is going to go down.
Honestly, it could be due an update because like the current rates are based off of like what it's been scaled to in comms, which really like shouldn't be representative of EHP in general as a measurement. Like it was kind of Hitlerified by like the people that have like told me to increase the rates on those things were Inducted and Tanner Dino, and both of those people have like not played like long term to any degree really. Like what
Well,
when
Tanner plays
Inducted,
long term, or
no,
has at least
I kinda,
in the past.
but it's still in short bursts. It's like focused sessions.
Yeah, Tanner
Yes.
tries
Like
a
Tanner,
method for an hour, and he's like, "Yeah, this should be EHP. You're all wrong."
yeah,
Or just
yeah.
puts the
So
math in there and then is wrong.
Yeah,
Or
in his
comes up with an
calculator.
idea like Tanner Teaks and then realizes that it's not actually viable whatsoever when he tries and attempts the method.
also kind of
Sorry,
like
Tanner.
We had the essence mining method at like 1200k an hour, or at 1200 an hour, and nobody had actually tested it. And so the new run changes come out, and now like we're actually testing and realize that like with the new run energy, the 1200 per hour is like unrealistic. The new rate's like 1175, so we just had that rate run for however long. Because yeah, like we didn't require testing, we just trusted a spreadsheet. Or was
Yeah,
just
that's how it
somebody
was
saying
with
it one time?
Fire Scatter Berry as well. Automelgy was just like, oh, it's just one extra action per log, and just made it EHP without ever doing it or having anyone else do it.
Again, this is why I'm like, when the run changes came out, I was like, I think they'd have taken that lesson, because it's now, especially with the Iron Man rates, it's very much like, all right, like no one is setting ep until like we get an hour of like this method, this method, this method, like a real human doing it
Yeah.
to show that it's possible.
I think this really just shines right back to the fact that we need a 3-tick item in free to play. It's actually saying that all of our EHP methods require yourself to be alt trading so frequently for absolutely everything.
Yeah, we actually are just the trade screen game. That's
Yeah.
like when I like came back in I believe like the end of 2023. It was just like all the EHP had been turned into trade screen. And I was like, oh, awesome.
Yeah. Free to play is an awesome in an awesome state, but EHP just the way that we have to skill right now is just so terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like an issue in pay to play as well with the like multi-skill shit.
Yeah, but that's a little different because it's still not relying on you in a trade screen.
Yeah,
30
only
ticks
for
or
like a
less.
few, like fair few methods, and those will probably get changed. Like there's some like methods where Enjoy's like had like an alt following them, like with artifacts, he had like an alt following him around, trading him supplies to do multi-skill with. That's the only scenario where it's been like changed to an alt trading method for pay to play.
Yeah. But like you're already running all the way out to that NPC to bring the stuff too, so like trading yourself stuff doesn't seem that crazy there.
Yeah.
Multi-skilling things, and the same thing with like SEP. You end your scenario at a bank, you grab some stuff out, you do multi-skilling.
Also,
on the other
nobody
side.
does the trading shit because you can just bank and it's like nearly just as fast, but it's there's no
Not
like
convenient
just
for
as fast
everybody.
option for yeah.
So we're just
It's like
forcing ourselves into this stupid trade screen meta.
yeah.
It's just terrible.
If they added like the mining guild like bank or something, like that bank that's like left of the rocks or whatever.
Yeah, just south there. That's in the pay to play
Yeah,
area.
yeah. That would work. Maybe.
We'd still use an alt.
Yeah. No, I mean like I think it's a chest. I don't think it's a bank. But if the one that was like right next to the rocks was a bank, I think it's like a chest that you like open, like crack open and search.
Yeah, and if we put a deposit box beside the teaks on Priv.
Well, that's different. It's like makes sense for the mining guild to have a bank much more than it makes sense for the Priv teaks to have a deposit box.
Holy.
All right.
We should also get like
Let's
dueling
move
ring.
on.
Yeah.
Let's get dueling ring
Fun
fast. We need dueling
questions.
ring.
Topic number 9.
Okay. Which free to play UIM has the most sexual appeal and why?
UIM Iodiin.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Iodiin as well, my personal pick for this one.
I've kept tabs on a lot of the free-to-play UIM that are active. I will say, and this is kind of like a relatively like recent, like in the past like 2 years, a lot of very cute girls have started making free-to-play UIMs. So I definitely want to shout out all the pretty ladies that are playing the best game mode in the game.
Pretty ladies.
In terms of most sexual appeal, though, I think that is like a bit of a different thing. Obviously, you know, I understand that when I talk in a lot of my videos, I've been told I have a very good voice. I've been told that when I live stream with Facecam that, you know, I've gotten marriage proposals and such. So, I mean, I understand how I could be pretty high up there, but
When you're riding around your bike with your helmet on, people just chase after you.
it's not easy being the best looking free-to-play UIM.
Yeah.
But in terms of sexual appeal, I mean, there were very few Zaya for One streams, but you had a good-looking individual who played guitar, who also did one-to-one methods when no other Iron Man at the time was doing them. So I want to at least put that name out there.
Holy smokes.
And then obviously, I mean, people like I have
Suomi?
boob, not
Oh.
Suomi, absolutely not Suomi. But you have players like I have boob who are like doing like efficient boneyard
I had a drink
1-to-1.
in my mouth.
I mean,
You
like,
shouldn't have said that.
no, love to all the free to play UIM. Who wrote this question?
I have boob.
Someone in Discord, I don't
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
It was boob,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to answer that, Freaking DJ?
I'm gonna give it to AE. Have you seen that man in the mirror?
Oh,
Oh my
true.
god! Oh my
power,
god!
The powerlifting arc, not bad, not bad.
Guys, dude. Oh my
Dude.
god. Speaking of that picture, it's so funny actually because we just had a new class start at our job today, and I promise you AE Doppelganger works at my fucking job now. And I literally told this man, I asked him, do you like RuneScape? He said, I don't know what that is. And I explained to him it was an MMORPG a little bit, and he was just like, okay, so like Wizard 101. And I was like, no. But I showed him the picture, and he was stunned too. I'm telling you, looked just like him. That was the first picture I saw on his Twitter. I was like, I know he's got a picture on him.
Automelogy
So-
was just looking at you like, there's no way I can tell this random that I'm the real Automelogy. So he definitely just made that up.
yeah. The press is gonna be all over this if I say anything.
Maybe if I find his LinkedIn, I'll drop it in the private.
I mean, you don't have to
Discord.
dox him. I mean, that's all crazy.
No, you can dox him. It's okay.
It's
Alright.
fine.
Coming up, would you rather have toenails for teeth or teeth for toenails?
Abstain.
Oh, God.
If I have to answer the question, it's teeth for toenails.
It's definitely
Yeah.
teeth for toenails. If you say toenails for teeth, you're actually trolling.
But like, do you have to eat with your toes then?
No, you still. I
Eat
think
with
you
your
still have normal
toes.
teeth. You still have normal. They wouldn't
Oh,
swap.
okay, yeah, then no, 100% easy.
Yeah, like I don't know who
Okay,
is
okay, but
picking-
hear me out. Hear me out.
You just put on socks.
What if the toenails? It's not just the idea of like the shape of the toenail, but it's also the regenerative property of it. Like I meant, like
Ew.
people have teeth
Just
issues,
No
brush your
right?
cavities.
teeth, man. Brush your teeth. Don't replace them with toenails.
No cavities though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but imagine like like no
Whoa.
cavities, or like if you have a
Horrible
cavity, like
idea.
the teeth heals itself.
Yeah. Why don't
Imagine you
do
bite
that?
into something hard though, and it does that like bendy shit where your like
Oh,
nail like.
Oh no, that's
bends.
foul. That's so foul. Stop that.
Alright, can we move on?
Oh God, I felt that
Alright.
whole body.
That was
All
bad.
right.
My fingers hurt.
Coming up, what wild animal do you think you could take in a fight? You squared off in a ring against this creature.
Austin, I want to hear you go first, actually.
In a ring?
Um,
In a ring.
in a ring, yeah.
Oh, okay, I got the best pick.
Maybe like a ferret. I think I could beat a ferret up. Although the giraffe one is like pretty interesting to think about how you would take down a giraffe. I liked that Keybox answer to this question. Like, do you like try and like make it like fall over by like climbing up the neck? How do you take down a giraffe even? Truly, he just like whips you off of him. Lots to think about.
That is
Yeah,
a
this
head
is an easy
scratcher.
pick. This is an easy pick. This is an easy pick. You get to pick the most, like, one of the most badass things, and you get to beat the crap out of it. Come
What
on.
is it?
Is nobody catching on to the question? It's inside of a ring. This is so easy. Shark. Great white shark. It can't do anything out of the water. Can't do anything out of the water.
Good point. Yeah, give me enough time. I could beat the shit out of a blue whale.
Have you seen Gladiator 2? Have you seen Gladiator 2, Frank? There's sharks in there.
No, I have not. I have not.
Okay.
But like that's 100% the take when you cheat the question. But if you don't cheat the question, I don't know what I would take on. Like it's got to be something to like at least show your worth.
Yeah, I guess it
Yeah,
should be
I mean,
rephrased as
it's
like
gotta
what's
be
the strongest animal you could take on.
There's got to be a risk of like you not winning that. Come on.
I was
Yeah.
thinking like a baby calf or a deer or something.
Wow.
because they still have like the. I know it's fucked up. I know.
Brutal.
It's fucked up. Whatever.
No, people. There are a lot of people who work on
mean,
like venison farms that like they get killed by like male deer because they get
Yeah, I
like
was gonna
fucked
say,
by the
jeez.
antlers.
Well, that's why I was gonna say no antlers on the deer. Maybe it I hate to say it have to be a female deer, I guess, because we can't have the antlers. But like we're not. The question isn't which
Yeah, we almost
animal
we-
can you kill in a ring, right?
we-
It's just
we
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
lost that
winning.
fight while we were at Pawz's wedding.
What?
I
Against the
think
deer.
I could be the
Holy.
guy like who punches out the kangaroo. I think I could do that.
Oh, that's a
I
good
think I think I
answer.
could take it.
That's a good one. As long as the kangaroo doesn't kick you, you're fine.
I'm losing to a kangaroo. It's got to be the Joey in the pouch, even.
No, you gotta tie the legs of the kangaroo to beat the kangaroo.
Oh, is this some hidden kangaroo strats that you've been
Yes.
keeping from the world?
100%. The legs are 100% the strongest.
Hmm.
I maybe have a more interesting question if everybody's gone with this one.
Okay.
Has
What-
Pawz
What
gone?
like?
I want to
no-
know what Pawz will take.
Oh yeah, true. Pause. Who are you fighting? What animal?
Yeah.
I was not planning on answering this question. Let's move on.
All right. But like maybe like the better follow-up question to this is like, of what we know about people, what like RuneScape Stiller do you think would be like an even matchup for you in a fight?
I think I could beat up Cap King.
Vizela.
Oh, that's
Adorable.
true.
Oh yeah, I'll take that one all day long.
Enjoys as well. Enjoys weighs like 50 pounds.
Oh, is Enjoy's small?
Yeah, he's like micro frame.
Nah,
Right, you're
I
pretty
don't, I don't,
like
I don't
you're
think I
pretty
could.
tall, right?
I'm not that tall. But
No.
sure. Yeah, no, I would have to take Vizela. I don't think I could even hit Enjoys. Enjoys is just so awesome. Like what? Like why are you guys picking on Enjoys?
Yeah, this should be like, who would you not mind hitting?
I'm gonna fight all of you
okay.
guys for saying you're gonna fight Enjoys. There you go.
Do anybody think that they can 1v1 Sebe?
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
I feel like I could. I feel like I'm
He's kind of ripped now. No.
I mean, sure he's not ripped, but like if I'm like a bit of like a mad dog in the fight, like if I start biting, I start going for like below the groin shots, like
Oh.
I don't know, like
Jeez.
Fight dirty.
That's great.
Damn, fighting
No,
dirty
it's
against
saving
Satan
ass.
grass. Yeah.
Thanks for shouting us out on your podcast.
Yeah.
oh, I mean, oh yeah,
Eugene-
huge shout out to Sebe.
We're
I
gonna
love the
get a
videos, love the
fight, like,
rambles.
All
love
up to the Eugene bowling alley. It's going down.
Holy.
I don't think I could have taken Automelogy in his like powerlifting prime in a fight. I think
Oh,
he wins
hell
that every
no.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite non-OSRS game?
Pokemon.
GeoGuessr.
Mm.
I've been really into the finals. I've been playing that a lot with my IRO brother.
What's that?
Is that it?
It's like a first person, like kind of arena shooter. That's
Yeah.
the best way I can describe it.
Hmm.
I mean, kind of just like
Nothing-
like Valorant, like or not Valorant, but like yeah, like just a lot of those like first person shooter, like deathmatch plus an objective.
That's
kinda
not the
thing.
Fortnite one, is it?
You're not like dropping a specific like. It's not.
Well,
like,
no. Like Fortnite literally made their own like Valorant CS:GO clone.
Oh no! I mean, it's not Fortnite.
Okay.
It's its own game. PUBG as well. I played a lot of that during my RuneScape days.
Yeah.
I'll take Call of Duty. Specifically, like back Modern Warfare 2 days. Like not anything recent, but yeah, I don't know. Loved the hell out of those games. So
Gotta be Clash of Clans for me. That game is the best mobile game ever invented. Besides RuneScape Mobile, maybe.
Shout out summer of 2016 Pokemon Go.
Ooh, true. Battle Cats as well. It's a good. Well, I'm just thinking of mobile games now. All right.
DJ.
This could be an opt-in maybe. But-
DJ needs to go. DJ needs to
Oh
go.
no, he said Pokemon. He said Pokemon.
Did he?
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Least favorite free to player.
This one's so easy. We already said that.
Yeah, I think
For the
there's an
fight- for the
agreed
fight scenario,
target.
I think we
Yeah.
got that one.
We don't even have to say this one.
Oh, you're counting that person as a free to player. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll come out and say it
Yeah.
because of the recent free to play competition. If I see gunners in the street,
Oh.
careful.
Yeah, you also had Vizela on your team.
Fucking cough.
Forgot.
Vizela
Literally.
played though. Like say what you want. They at least put
Well,
hours in.
Vizela requested to be removed, so it's essentially the same as Gunners at this point.
Yeah.
It's actually more.
Maybe.
Put hours and then took them away from you.
Yeah.
Put like 3 up in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quickly, we could talk about
Sure, there'll
the.
be a 30-minute video about me after this. So.
Yeah, Cough was logged into his pay to play account. Gunners is Cough. Like he was literally logged into his pay to play account during that, and they like asked him if he was gonna log into his free to play, and he's like, maybe at
Who's
some
Cough?
point. It's like some person from like another like pay to play clan. If you know who like Wizard is, the streamer,
Nope.
he's like part of his clan.
Gotcha.
Shout out
Anyways,
Wizard.
yeah, shout out Wizard, shout out Dino Nuggies.
I don't know who any of these people are.
The clan ranking system change, we can just like quickly touch on that. It was because with having lower ranks be like top whatever instead of set EHP requirements, those ranks are going to constantly shift upwards, whereas people are more likely to burn out at lower EHP, and so the top like I don't know, top like 100, top 50, those ones won't change that much. So that was the reasoning behind that. And then shout outs to new upcoming players from
Yes.
everyone.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna shout out 2 players that are new. Manhera, and
true.
I'm gonna shout out one of
Shoot
the
out.
greatest names that has come into free to play. Just a great username, Katurlabong.
Oh, true. Those are both just pay to players.
All right. Shout out Snow Globe. I like that username. That's the only reason why. And then shout out Bald Une for putting up big hours during the comp. You're a beast.
Not a new player.
Bro,
though.
Baldwin's a beast.
Not new.
No, I don't care. So what?
You're still saying up and coming. All right.
Anybody who's
It's
like
too,
under like 5K up is surely an up-and-comer. Myself included.
Yeah, general shout outs, I guess. Shout
Oh,
out
no.
to shout out to Ricky Horizon / Eve for like making a whole clan and like right off like the rip. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I'll say it outright. Shout out E for starting Phoenix and getting away from the transphobic leadership of free to play IM clan.
True.
And I mean, just in general, like up and comers, like all of Phoenix clan, a lot of like up and comer free to play Iron Man beasts. Specific shout out to Sandy Sue on first Alcaridlot's free to play Iron to Adamant Scimitar. Beat me to it, so gotta give the shout out where it's due.
Wow.
That's crazy.
They throwing me as
Alex
the
backing.
ranked one. I know, literally. I gotta get back into it at some point. Also, shout out what's their name? There's like one free to play Iron Man in 3.5 who like actually started doing ep methods. I gotta come back to it. Some
say
beasts though. Some beast up and comers in 3.5.
What did you say? Doing ep methods?
Yeah, like most of 3.5 does not do 1-to-1, so there's like
Yeah.
a couple that do here and there. So
As someone who's doing one, shout out to that person that's doing a 1-to-1 right now.
yo, true.
Also, shout out to the absolute beasts that are the winners of the 10th anniversary comp. Everybody on the soft shell sergeants, you're all legends.
Ooh.
Yeah, everyone actually played on your team, so shout out to your team.
Yep. Shout out to Beauty as well. Sarah Hagen. They're like,
Jamal Fish Church, huge.
that's like 2 years old, but that's like newer than I wasn't aware of them when I was first playing. So
I mean, are we just doing the general shout outs? I have like a list.
Oh
no,
God.
that's really like within like a 2-year radius. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Shout
any
out to I think it's Vlad UIM from Phoenix is organizing like one of the first free to play bingo events that I've like ever known of. So
Ooh.
always love to see
Okay,
things like that.
that's an interesting thought.
Shout out
It's
to
the
Glad's the
first bingo I'm
Fish.
ever gonna do. Oh, true, Glad's the
This
Fish.
podcast's never gonna end. We're just gonna start shouting out everything. Shout out to Solus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
true.
to
New,
Solus,
brand
Glads.
new, last 2 years.
Solus is freaking awesome. Skilling is
Yum.
so alive right now. To anybody that has said that skilling is dead,
Yes, apply for free to play and apply for solos. Glad's the
Shout out
Fish
to
is the Jesus of
Automology
skilling.
for discovering the table bond method.
Yeah, LeBron.
Very new tech.
Shout out to Automology for coming up with the conclusion that skilling's dead.
Oh,
shout out to
True.
Automology for spending 4,000 hours at flesh crawlers to realize he should have been at a different mob. All right, I think we can probably wrap this shit
yeah.
up.
Shout outs DJ.
Yeah.
DJ, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to the Crunchwrap Cuties.
Yo.
Y'all killed it. And especially to Kuthalos. You kept me awake and very tired at work, so thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
for that.
Thanks for making me tired.
Shout out to grilled cheese burritos, the team, and just the grilled cheese burrito from Taco Bell because it's just the best.
It's absolutely
It's
fire.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Taco Bell near Pawz that is
Yeah.
like so good compared to the rest of the world's Taco Bells that it inspired them to make
Yeah.
the names of the comp.
Legit best Taco Bell on the planet.
3 out of the 5 people in this call have been to that Taco Bell, and
So
will
good.
attest to its
Yeah,
legitimacy.
it's pretty fucking good.
Best T-Bell ever.
Also, shout out to some of the like regulars in the Saturday free to play voice like Tur and Tanadino and
Ant.
Inducted and a few others. For the people who do show up and actually make the effort to make free to play voice better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Key Basher as well.
Yes.
Wish you were here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Couldn't make it
Come
today.
back.
Come
Come back
back.
to us. All right.
Shout
we could
out
probably end it
to
there.
all right, I got a few more. Shout out to everybody on the Pryptonus Predators,
True.
the absolute beasts.
Facts.
Minolinsky,
The
Autism, Mage, Turn, Fincher, Freck, Never4, Onyx, Yakorka. I actually don't even know who that is.
That's Puff.
Shout out
Puff.
to the
It's Puff 'em out.
newer version of World 385 without a couple of individuals that have been giving a bad name to the clan for the past couple of years. Shout out to everybody on the cheese or the GHP's burritos, however you say the name.
Chepspa.
Do you have anybody that you specifically don't want to shout out? I think that might be a shorter list.
Oh, true. Also, shout out to Levi, putting in bigger hours than
Yeah.
I would have expected in a free-to-play comp. Like,
Yeah.
So
to
first,
go.
Levi.
shout out to Levi.
Shout out to Levi. I don't owe you 5 feathers. I was muted.
shout out to Calico Free-to-Play for tanking all of the like pay-to-play hatred during the Terry comp and letting me avoid it all.
True.
Gotta drop that.
Yeah.
Shot only Sam's, just general.
All right. We can probably call it there.
All right.
Yeah,
That's all I
let's
got.
end it before this never ends. Holy.
Shout out to the Free to Play clan for letting me join as the guest for this podcast. Very much appreciated. It's always been my dream to be on one of these podcasts since I listened to like the first one that I like listened to live in like 2020 when it came out. So
Please say the recording has ended.
hope it hasn't.
Yeah, we let this 385 scum in here, and you know, it's all right though.
Shout out to Free to Play Iron Man game mode. We tank hate.
Oh,
We keep
Lord.
going.
Yeah, you do keep going.
Shout out MLK
Okay,
getting me
no.
back into running fitness and the little running top and the ML cord.
Shout out Jagex for giving us new membership options.
Shout out to the end of the
True.
podcast.
True.
Goodbye.
All right, goodbye everyone.
Holy
Bye.
Bye.
We had a radio tower in his backyard, and it would broadcast through our microwave. Like
Love
unironically,
that.
like
That's
our
sick.
microwave would start like talking. He'd be like, his name was Jesse, so he'd always like call in shit. It'd be like, Jesse, and then fucking like say some like random shit, and it would like come through the microwave. And like we had like an electric piano that we rented for a bit, and it came through that as well.
That's so
What the
beast.
frick?
One of those like kind of like schizo broadcasters too.
Yeah,
So you
he
just like go to
was.
like make some popcorn in the microwave. You just hear like they're in your walls. They're in your walls.
No, not like that, but he was like constantly like communicating something. It was definitely an illegal setup what he had. He had like a whole ass radio tower built back there.
Do you say good morning?
I did this morning. I don't think you were logged in yet, actually.
I just meant like to the GF.
Oh. Wait, what?
Do you not understand what the joke is about me
Oh
saying
my
you didn't
gosh.
say good morning?
Not really, honestly.
Oh my gosh. It was like the second day of the comp. You woke up, joined voice, and your girlfriend just goes, "You haven't even said good morning," and you muted up for like the rest of the time you were in voice. So it was like oh no, DJ's
like
already in
really
trouble.
like, not even gonna say good morning.
That's hilarious. That was like right before we went to Monster Jam. I'd slept like
Yeah,
an
exactly.
hour.
Yeah, it was just you didn't even say good morning. Yeah. So I
Good
won't let that
times.
live down. I'm just gonna always hit you with the you didn't even say good morning.
That's funny. I don't even remember like exactly that. I didn't know that's why you were saying that.
It's hilarious.
That's priceless. That's gonna be brought
That's
up in the
funny.
podcast. I'm just letting you
Yeah.
know.
So
No, I
funny.
was recording. We're good.
Oh,
I'll
sick.
throw it in at the end.
Oh, yeah.